recruiting so we can get recruits in here. We play Missouri the last game of the year. We certainly want an opportunity to see the kids before go out on the road recruiting. Certainly you can get kids here that you can recruit. I felt like we would lose a huge opportunity.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but they ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Good Friday, everyone. Really excited to get to today's program. Got a chance to talk with Sam Pittman yesterday. Hear from him on
the retaining of Barry Odom, the hiring of his new coaching staff. That's a part of the game, part of the conversation that we will get to on a Friday edition of the Morning Rush. Got some bad news yesterday. The Texas A&M game that Arkansas was set to play at 5 o'clock in Bud Walton Arena Saturday is canceled. Want to talk about the repercussions of that. Let's think about this Arkansas State matchup. What would be some good names for this game we'll see in 2025? The Super Bowl coming up, you got a massive, dynamic quarterback duel between Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. Where does that rank of some of the best Super Bowl quarterback matchups that we've ever seen? And we will also get to some Super Bowl props, which are always quite fun leading up to Super Bowl Sunday.
Well, this is a tough one today. I like three conversations, but let's split it. Let's talk about the coaches and the news we learned about Barry Odom yesterday, and a little bit about the Super Bowl here to get going.
So listen to Sam Pittman's press conference. He did about 20-30-minute press conference with the Arkansas media yesterday, and there were some certain sound bites that I thought stood out amongst the others. You heard him at the top of our open talking about the importance that he voiced not only to Hunter, but to us yesterday. By the way, if you want to listen to the press conference in its entirety, hitthatline.com and our YouTube channel at hitthatline. We'll start with what he said about Barry Odom and his friendship, his relationship, and how that whole thing went down. Here was Coach Pittman's words yesterday speaking to retaining your defensive coordinator.
Those calls are hard to make to a head coach when you have another job offer to you that might be financially a lot more, and you don't want to just call and say, hey, I need a raise. Those are hard calls, and Barry and I have a strong friendship, and those things happen. He visited with me about it. Thank goodness for Hunter Yurachek, and I called him, explained the situation, and I don't know, it might have been 15, 20-minute deal, and it was done. And the greatest thing you can say about Barry is you can trust him. And once he says, hey, I'm going to stay, then that's what he's going to do. And because he's going to get offers every year. That's what he's going to do. And you want your coaches to get offers from other teams.
And he's right. You've talked about that. You want coaches across the board. Now, you still want to be able to keep them on staff at the University of Arkansas, but you also want people outside of the University of Arkansas who are interested in your staff, because that means they're doing something right, which is probably going to lead to wins for your football program.
So if you're out there listening, you're wondering, well, what's his new deal? What's his new contract? $1.75 million Arkansas is going to pay their defensive coordinator next year, Barry Odom. That's more than Arkansas's ever paid a coordinator, and kind of gets you closer to the big boy club, if you will, of what top shelf coordinators are making. Now, you got a head coach that's making less than the average SEC head coach. Average money in this league is around $4 million, a little stronger. You got a coach making $3 million, but can earn his way with more wins into that range. You have also seen, and I don't know how much of this was part of it, but you got to believe there's some of it, Ty. All right, you come up about $400,000 on Barry Odom's salary, right, to get him to where you need to be competitive and to keep him and his wife and his family feel good about what he's making at Arkansas versus the opportunity to make more elsewhere. Then you see staff change. Now, Steps change didn't probably have anything to do with this, but did you see a couple others? And I'm sure some of these changes, when you were going through them, there was an idea of, hey, if I can save $25,000 or $50,000 on the new coach versus the old, it helps offset some of this. You save some money with Justin Stepp's replacement, and Kenny Guyton, he's not making as much. I'm sure some of these staff changes provided opportunity or the ability for Arkansas to get that back into balance. And I think overall, I was talking with Clay about this last night, about a 3% or so increase in the total pool of coaches' salaries.
Jermichael Ashley and Cody Kennedy both making $300,000. Michael Scherer's making $175,000, and all these facts and figures that we're giving to you this morning are courtesy of Clay and his fellows at Whole Hog Sports. Those were obtained by those guys. I want to give them credit to where credit is due. But
I don't think that's why they went out and made all these changes, but I think buried in there somewhere, the numbers and the finances and what it's going to cost you to run your coaching staff is always a consideration.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my bat what Ryan Rhodes is making, but I know that Guyton's making less than Stepp, as you mentioned, and then I don't know.
Stepp was right at 400,000, and so you had some money to offset the total pool of coaches' salaries there, and then you're right, Michael Scherer's making. I think Ryan Rhodes was making $225, maybe. I mean, not a huge amount. I mean, $50,000 to us is a lot, but hey, 50 here, 50 there, 30 here, 100 there, and you've got about half of that increase of Barry Odom covered, is what I'm saying.
It adds up.
Now that's all great and gets you through the 2021 year, but if you've hired good coaches, and Kenny Guyton and Michael Scherer, and you go down the list of Montgomery, these new guys you've hired, hey, if they're doing a great job and they're getting noticed by the coaches, guess what? You're going to have to pay them to keep them, because these young guys, they want to get into that $300,000 and $400,000 salary range, a lot of them. So, and they'll have opportunities if their position group plays well and they build their reputation. So this is going to be a never-ending battle, an ongoing fight every year. If you've got good coaches to keep them, you're going to have to pay them, and Hunter Yurachek has to figure out where to come up with the money. And they've created that coaches enhancement fund and all that, but the reality is you got to get tickets sold, you got to get back to full venues to have the cash flow coming in, where for any of us, we hear $300,000 or $400,000 or $500,000, and that's, like all the money in the world to us because of our perspective. But when you're running an athletic department with $140, $150 million budget, and they're not quite there to that point, but you know what I mean, a few $100,000 in relativity in relation is not that big a deal.
We'll talk about how much the SEC distributed it to everyone at schools coming up here in the Morning Rush. I know Hunter yesterday echoed the same sentiment that you did, that we do have full football venues this fall and how important that may be. And depending on how the vaccine distribution goes throughout the spring, maybe we can see more and more fans being added to Bob Walker. I know they're going to be very cautious about that as we continue to trend in that direction, and hopefully the right direction, because the light at the end of the tunnel seems to be there. But I didn't think this thing was going to last over a year, and here we are.
And baseball has been cash flowing, pays for itself. Limited tickets will probably keep that from happening if you have the majority of your home games with 4,000, 4,400 fans or whatever. So
it is nice to have a baseball program at Arkansas. Arkansas is one of like 20 some odd programs, which football, basketball, and baseball all make money.
Yeah.
Now this year's different.
And I bet you all of them, not all, but all of them are either in the ACC or the SEC in large part that are able to do that. So
this year's a little different with COVID, but just to have that in your back pocket, I bet Hunter Yurachek and his staff definitely appreciate that.
All right, Clay coming up in an hour. A lot on the Super Bowl. Arkansas and Texas A&M postponed. We got a lot to get to. It's brought to you by Baxter Regional Medical Center. All the state and CDC guidelines are being followed to keep you safe, the staff safe, everyone safe at Baxter Regional Medical Center. They provide excellent care to every patient every time. So if you and your family need to get back and see the doctors, hey, no worries. They're following every procedure, every precaution at Baxter Regional Medical Center. They remind you wherever you go, wear your mask, maintain 6 feet of social distancing, and learn more about how to keep you and your family safe by following Baxter Regional Medical Center on Facebook, or go to their website, baxterregional.org/coronavirus. That's baxterregional.org/coronavirus for updates.
A lot to get to on a Friday edition of the Morning Rush, including your calls and text at 877-377-6963. Getting close to the Super Bowl.
Streaming live from HitThatLine.com.
Hey, this is Hunter Yurtek, Director of Athletics at the University of Arkansas, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
So, you upgraded to the elevated ride of the 2021 Toyota Highlander.
New Highlander, Mr. D?
Yeah, figured it was time for something nicer, more refined.
Look at this thing. I mean, that moonroof is pretty sweet.
It's extremely stylish.
That's not all. As you can see, it has leather seats, dual-zone climate control,
and comes with all the latest tech.
And Android Auto. Check out this 12.3-inch touchscreen. Great for navigation, hands-free communication, music.
Awesome.
The Highlander also has loads of space and even a third-row seat.
Did I see 5 USB ports?
You sure did, buddy.
Perfect place for your daughter's new boyfriend.
This is so embarrassing.
Elevate every ride in the new 2021 Highlander.
Get $1,500 customer cash, or qualified lessees can lease a new 2021 Highlander L for only $279 a month for 36 months with $29.99 due at signing. Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at toyota.com for feature availability. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and 3/1/21.
Are you concerned about possible COVID exposure for you or your employees? Fort Smith has a new option for PCR COVID testing that is fast and accurate. Natural State Laboratories out of Little Rock has opened a PCR COVID drive-thru location in Fort Smith at Community Bible Church. PCR testing is the most sensitive, accurate test available, and results are available the next day. No appointment is necessary. Convenient COVID PCR drive-thru testing in Fort Smith is open 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday at Community Bible Church, located at 9201 Dallas Street.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources, and I want to help you get a great deal on a great car. So I'm making it easy with prices up to $3,113 below retail on the best selection of Rath road-ready vehicles we've had in months. These are late-model, low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs that have been hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. You just can't buy a better pre-owned vehicle. And right now, you can save with prices up to $3,113 below retail. If you're waiting on your tax refund, my TaxMax program can help with that by getting you access to your money now. Worried about your credit? Don't be. My For the People credit approval process can get you approved and driving your nicer, newer car today. If you're not in the market right now, let us take care of the car you have in our Meineke Car Care Center, the home of half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Don't wait. Get the nicer, newer car you want today and save up to $3,113 at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Achieve your health and wellness goals in 2021 with a fantasy spa or a complete endless pool fitness system from Burton Pools and Spas. Hi, Tommy Kraft here. There's no better way to start a new year out than with a spa or a great place to get your exercise every day with an endless pool fitness system. And the experts are at Burton Pools and Spas. Hot tubs start at $28.95 and there's 28 different models to choose from. And I love what I read about the endless pool fitness systems. Great way to get your exercise in. Boundless fitness, year-round swimming, and you can get swimming, which is great exercise in your own backyard every day. And when it comes from Burton's, you can count on delivery, complete setup, and total installation from Burton's. Read more online at burtonpools.com or stop in Fort Smith or in Springdale in Northwest Arkansas for all of the details. New spas and endless pool fitness systems from Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and always online at burtonpools.com. Happy New Year from Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch, dinner, and brunch. Open 7 days a week, both on the heated patio and the cozy dining room. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 to 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
The Frozen Knuckles Challenge is back at Wheeler Power Sports. Claim up to $150 in Wheeler Power Sports cash, along with chances to win other prizes just for riding your bike this winter. The contest runs through March the 6th, so make sure every time you get on your bike, check in at Wheeler Power Sports. For more on the Frozen Knuckles Challenge, go to WheelerPowersports.com. Wheeler Power Sports is located at 901 North 11th Street near downtown Fort Smith. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling.
Man, I just want to ride, man. I just want to ride.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
And Sills drives underneath. Desi missed the shot, but Williams is there to clean it up. Jalen with a one-hand slam. Hogs lead for the first time tonight.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from tuning.
Welcome back into the Morning Rush. I was excited to go to the Arkansas-Texas A&M game tomorrow. Potentially see the Razorbacks win their 5th straight conference game. Tommy, unfortunately, my desire was vanquished yesterday when we got the news.
Yeah, we heard just a little before the announcement actually came out. This was in the works as A&M has COVID issues, quarantining issues that's going to limit the players and staff that could make the trip. So home game potentially lost. Hopefully, there's room in the SEC schedule towards the end where they've left some dates to make up games. Some of these schools got so many games to make up. You wonder about A&M, you wonder about South Carolina, Vanderbilt, some of these schools that are towards the bottom of the standings. Do they really care if they're the 11th seed or the 12th seed? I mean, I guess there's that first round where you've got the teams at the bottom playing each other on that first day, but you'd like to maybe get your way out of that. But I just don't think all these games are going to be made up, and you hope that a home game for Arkansas at some point can be made up for the fans that already got limited tickets and worse seats in most cases this year.
It's wild to me that on February the 5th, heading into Kentucky, you're tied for 3rd in the Southeastern Conference and a half game back of LSU in the standings.
Here's what I do like. I hate that the game's canceled. I do love the fact that Eric Musselman now has a few extra days to zero in and get laser focused on a trip to Kentucky.
Let's see who the Wildcats play this weekend. They lost to Missouri Wednesday night, right? 75-70. So Kentucky's just bad this year. It's so
they're not Kentucky. We hold them to the standard of Kentucky and what our expectations of them are. This would be like watching Alabama lose 3 or 4 ball games in the regular season. We're not used to seeing this. Now, they played a very difficult non-conference schedule. They've made some strides, but then Missouri's good basketball team.
Yeah.
But we look at that record with Kentucky and we say, "Ooh, are they even going to make the tournament?" And I can't imagine if they're close. And you can make a case for them that the committee's going to leave Kentucky out.
They get Tennessee on Saturday, so they
they got a case of the Reds a little bit right now, Tennessee. So there's 2 teams that both need to win in a bad way.
You mentioned there's no set makeup date at this time, except that
there's holes in the schedule, but who knows who's going to play it in.
And the reason I bring this up is because some people have advocated for, hey, schedule another game, see if you could snap something. You can't do that.
You can't. You played all your non-conference games.
And the NCAA maxed it out at 27, right. 18 plus 9, 27. You can't go any higher than that. You can't just schedule another SEC team willy-nilly because they're already scheduled to play on Saturday.
You hadn't missed any other games. So it's not like, hey, let's make up the game we missed with Ole Miss. Well, you haven't missed any of your Arkansas,
So the negative about this is you're probably going to win your 5th straight conference game against a really lower-tier Texas A&M Aggies. But there's always pros that you can pull out of anything. Here is the biggest one. You get your guys a little bit healthier and get some rest. So you play earlier this week on Tuesday night. You have a full week to prepare, like you were talking about.
And get healthy.
For the Kentucky. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Get healthy. So with Desi Sills, you think about Jalen Williams, Moses Moody, Justin Smith, who's still not 100%. Getting these guys, this in a sense to me could be a blessing in disguise because as much as you'd like to add another conference win, at the end of the day, it's about being healthy as you enter Nashville for the SEC tournament and hopefully the postseason tournament when you head off to Indianapolis.
So 2 or 3 extra days for Musselman and his staff to really digest every morsel of Kentucky video, put together the right game plan. And one thing I'm very comfortable with, this staff led by Musselman will always have a game plan and preparation to put you in a position to win. Now, the players may not execute it the way they've been practiced, but I don't think we can look back at very many ball games and say, well, Musselman got out coached. That team wasn't prepared. They didn't have a plan. There's not very many examples where you can make a case where the game plan going into the game didn't give you a chance to win. So you give him an extra 2 or 3 days to work on this game against a very beatable Kentucky team. It's going to be disappointing, honestly, if you don't go to Rupp and win this year.
I would like to see them break that streak. I know it's every game since 2015. They won the 2 in 2014. I want to say it's 8 straight losses that they have against the Wildcats, if they remember that correctly.
However many it is too many.
And I know that Kentucky still has the brand, but to me, even if you win next Tuesday, I still want to see them not just necessarily win, but compete against a top tier, because you have Alabama coming back, you have LSU coming back. There are still opportunities for quadrant 1 wins, because if you really look at their schedule, at the end of the day, they haven't beat anyone notable. Period.
They've won the games they're supposed to win. They haven't beat anyone better than them right now.
And that's weird saying. And I don't like, for those who watch the television broadcast, Damian Fishback, former Auburn guard, said both these teams still have to get better, talking about Arkansas, talking about Mississippi State, and Musk took offense to that.
He didn't like that, did
he was not a fan of that at all. But listen, whether he's a fan or not, it's true. And I know they crushed Mississippi State and really took on the 23-2 run. He knows that. He's not stupid. He's got more basketball acumen in one fingernail than I do in my entire body. But it's just facts. You haven't beaten anyone that you weren't supposed to beat. And you have these opportunities laid out in front of you the rest of the season. I don't know if Kentucky is going to be favored come Monday, but the brand of Kentucky is still stronger in Arkansas, and you'd still like to win that basketball
I don't
game.
think there's a single person listening or following us this morning that wouldn't take that Kentucky win on the road at Rupp this year versus beating both Alabama and LSU at home. Just because it's Kentucky.
Yeah.
And the right answer is you need to win those games at home against LSU and Bama because it's better for net rankings, quadrant 1 wins, yada, yada, yada. I'll take the win over Kentucky on the road. Every one of us feel that way because it's Big Blue Nation. You want to win that game, and, hey, it always does a lot when you've got wins over Kentucky. Do they mean as much this year as they have in the past? No. But I guarantee you there's not very many people listening. They know the right answer, but the answer with your heart is let's go beat Kentucky.
Well, it's like the Alabama-Texas thing this year. The right answer is that you should want to beat Alabama more than you do Texas, but the majority of our listeners, which, listen, I'm okay with, you rather beat Texas. It's just how it is. It's personal, selfish, but at the end of the day, your heart is where your heart is, and your heart wants to beat Texas in football, your heart wants to beat Kentucky in basketball, and your heart wants to beat LSU in baseball. That's how it is.
Yep.
End of the story.
Yep. But a lot of opportunities ahead. You need to get some of those wins over teams ahead of you in the standings, and this weekend wasn't one of those, but a game you just need to win to maintain where you're at, but not happening now. Arkansas and A&M postponed. Hey, if you're tired of constant computer issues at work, you don't really know what the real problem is. People tell you it's the router, and it's maybe the hardware. It could be your software. Do you have outside attacks with malware and ransomware that you're having issues with? Who do you call to help you with all these problems? You call Hashtag Managed IT Services and let their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantee that everything is working at your office, at your location, at optimum performance. Hashtag prevents all the small problems from becoming big problems. That's why we have turned our computer network over to them for monthly maintenance and ongoing resolution for any issues we have. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren, 479-802-4978. That's 802-4978. Hashtag technology without the hassles.
Getting to some quickie headlines coming up.
Shop local, eat local, be local.
This is former Razorback Kanoy Kennedy, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building your next fence. The Fence Man recently built new gates for my existing fence. The whole process was easy, quick, and most importantly, affordable. Plus, 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available with The Fence Man. If you need a new fence, gate, or anything that involves a fence, call The Fence Man, 479-782-3936. That's 782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
at any of the Clay Maxey companies. It's just an easy, customer-centered experience. We wanted to make it a one-stop shop, so we added Kawasaki and Can-Am and Hustler and Worldline. It's really been a nice add for us. We provide full service. We're doing pickup and delivery. We were able to add the Vexus line, which is a premier bass boat line. We want to make it easy. We want you to visit us at any of the Clay Maxey companies. Clay Maxey Ford and Harrison, Berryville, Motorsports, Marine, or Clay Maxey NWA.
RV Show pricing is arriving early at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV wants to invite you to skip the lines and the crowds this year and shop the industry's best brands at Northwest Arkansas's premier RV dealer. And with a lifetime warranty, RV storage, and a mobile service shuttle, owning a new RV has never been easier. RV Show pricing beginning now at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV. Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning, your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Divorce is never easy. Many times problems continue to arise long after the divorce is over. If you are dealing with a high conflict custody or visitation issue, you need an attorney that handles those specific type of cases. Call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners for immediate assistance with your situation. Kevin Hickey Law Partners, able to handle high conflict custody cases all over the state of Arkansas and other states. Check out kevinhickeylaw.com or call 479-434-2414 in Fort Smith and 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas.
Fresh means fresh, as in no preservatives. That's right. If it's fresh, it doesn't need to be preserved. Try Jim's 100% premium Wisconsin cheese. Fresh whole milk mozzarella, wood smoked provolone, old world style Romano and Parmesan. The freshest all-you-can-eat salad bar in town. No preservatives and fresh every time. Fresh, fast, Jim's Razorback Pizza. At the corner of Greenwood and Gary in Fort Smith.
At Frankrow Furniture for the month of February, Frankrow Furniture is ready to deal on cash or finance sales. Just come on in and tell us you heard this ad on ESPN 95.3 and receive huge discounts. Frankrow Furniture stands behind our furniture with service after the sale and carry as many Made in the USA brands as possible. We are family owned and offer in-store no credit check financing. Frankrow Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC has over 200 pre-owned vehicles to choose from luxury to economy and everything in between, including over 50 great vehicles with payments under $250 a month, certain to fit your needs and your budget. And at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, you always get more for your trade. 50 vehicles with payments under $250 a month at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Shot clock winding down, 5 to shoot. Backdoor lob to Justin Smith. Smith throws it down, and the Hawks go up by 6.
Follow us on Twitter at Ty Sports Radio and at Tommy Craft ESPN.
Arkansas women's basketball team got another win last night for their third straight for Mike Neighbors. We'll talk about that and some other quick-hitting headlines coming up.
We were talking about food during the break because that's how we torture ourselves here as we talk about good food. Last night, you went out for a good meal with your dad. You said your dad was going to Arts today.
He was going to Arts.
Good,
it for
good
his,
selection.
He's every time he comes into town, that's where he ends up going.
Yeah, Arts Barbecue and Burgers ready for the weekend. They'll have the catfish special today, and their catfish is crispy and delicious. And they give you plenty, and if you want to make sure you can get plenty, they have the all-you-can-eat catfish special that you can get as well for Friday. $1 off burgers tomorrow. Now, it's all about the Super Bowl this weekend, right? So, to me, no Super Bowl party or gathering is ever complete without some good barbecue somewhere on the smorgasbord.
And that is a topic we're going to get into.
And I know we're going to talk about that later, whether it's pigs in the blanket or the cheese dip or all the. I get it, but you cannot have a Super Bowl smorgasbord that doesn't have at least some ribs, brisket, pulled pork, something that has been smoked next to a wood flame. You just can't. You're not doing it right. You can't just roll out some pizzas and say we're done. You got to have some good barbecue. That's where Arts can help you with that. Call today, 452-2550. They'll have racks of ribs, pounds of brisket and pulled pork, whatever you need to complete your Super Bowl smorgasbord, all right? So have some great ribs from Arts, 452-2550. Call ahead, and they'll have them ready. You can probably pick them up on Saturday, put them in the oven for just a little while. They'll be ready to go for Sunday afternoon. Again, $1 off burgers tomorrow, Catfish Friday today, and anything you need for the big game on Sunday, they'll have for you at Arts. 452-2550, or stop in on Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
So Colin and Glenwood's excited about another win for Arkansas women's basketball. They beat the Missouri Tigers last night 85-80. And again, this is their third straight win. Excited for Mike Neighbors' squad to continue this trajectory and get some SEC wins. Hunter Yurchek came on the program yesterday, and if you didn't get a chance to listen to the interview in its entirety, thought it was fantastic. Thought Hunter laid out some really good points. He did say something that we've talked about a little bit. He expects a Bud Walton renovation. Now, this isn't exact. He wanted to make clear on that, but because of COVID, 3 to 5 years, it's what it's looking like.
Well, I think it'd have been, as he was saying, sooner had we not gone through this pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to ask him that because, as we've seen, business has churned on. The wheels of progress haven't ground to a halt. You've completed the stadium renovation. You're in the midst of a new facility at your baseball park, and I just know the way they think with he got their feasibility study, but there's a master plan that here's what's next. You think, well, why in the world does Bud Walton Arena need any updating? Well, it's 26 years old.
Yeah, 26 is what he said yesterday.
So just think about how good that building looks. When you walk in and you walk the concourses headed to your seat, they've done good work there. Frank Broyles and his staff, for the money they spent to build that thing, which was like $30 million 26 years ago, just think about it. They spent $160 million to build 4,400 seats or whatever in the north end zone. I know there's suites and all that, some offices, and there's more to it than that, and there was other stadium improvements. But you just think about what they built and the hole they dug in the ground there for $30 million roughly. Incredible. Incredible how that facility has held up and is still as good as anything in this league. And 26 years later, you just walked in and you had no clue. You just dropped in out of a hot air balloon. You'd never guess that building was over a quarter century old.
I'm curious to see what those renovations look like.
Well, they've done a lot of the technology, the ribbon boards, the scoreboard. There's probably a lot of stuff in the underbelly that we don't know about that needs, modernizing.
Have you ever been down there?
Oh, yeah. I hadn't been in the locker room lately, and we see videos of that when Muss is wearing the UPS uniform. Or there's stuff, I'm sure, in the underbelly that needs to be brought up to date. But no, that facility has really held up well over time, is my point. But part of that is they've continually invested and brought things up and modernized the concession and concourse areas. And they need to continue to do that.
Speaking of money, the figures, and these were attained by Whole Hog Sports, were released on the new coaches with the Arkansas football program. Barry Odom, highest paid Arkansas assistant ever. He's now making $1.75 million. He was making $1.3. Jamal Ashley, Cody Kennedy, they're making $300,000, and then Michael Shearer's making $175,000. When you tally up all the assistants, they're making $5.375 million in 2021. This is almost a 3% increase from last year, and it's the biggest allotment of money divvied out to assistants in Razorback football history. Is this a big deal coming off a COVID year where you didn't make jack, you lost $25 to $30 million than you originally projected? You're the finance guy. Like, what's the deal with this?
This is going to be something we talk about in this part of the calendar year every year, probably a little bit later this year than usual. If you have coaches that other schools desire, you're going to pay to keep them. And Arkansas is always going to have to figure out, because they don't have endless money, how to make it work. They made some staff changes. New guys are making less than the old guys. But, hey, if Michael Scherer, Cody Kennedy, and Kenny Guyton, and all these newcomers to the staff are doing a great job, guess what? You're going to have to pay to keep them.
Yeah.
Because $175 to Michael Scherer is great for him right now. Young guy climbing the ladder. But guess what? He's going to have somebody come along and says, those linebackers played good at Arkansas this year. Let's offer that guy $250. Let's offer that guy $3.25. That's someone somewhere else going to come along if a good job is being done. And when you're 25 or 6 years old, whatever, he's in his 20s, young guy, another $100,000 a year is too much money to turn down. So this is going to be an ongoing problem, challenge is probably a better word, for Sam Pittman. And he's been down that road. How many times was he courted as a offensive line coach? Like every year somebody wanted Sam Pittman to come be on their staff. So he understands the process. And as we heard in the audio about a half hour ago, hey, we don't want coaches around here that nobody wants. Petrino was the mastermind and understood it, but how many times did people come after his assistants? Not very often. So you want coaches that are desired. This is the challenge that comes along with it.
Keeping going with the money conversation, the SEC announced from the 2019-2020 fiscal year that they are distributing $657 million, whatever you say. It's $45.5 million per school. The year before was $651, so that figure is going up. You'll appreciate this next NFL tidbit. Peyton Manning has started Omaha Productions. He's going to produce other big-name athletes' programs based on their show.
Yeah. I noticed this year in season 2 of his show, Peyton's Places, that Omaha Productions was on the slate at the end, so you knew that was him. Mm-hmm. So,
with his famous phrase, Omaha, Omaha. He's heard that probably, 50 times during every...
That was really something he picked up towards the end of his career. But, yes, when they started putting the mics on the cameras that hung over the field, that was a big deal to the city of Omaha for sure.
Jenkins, I want your take on this since it is a Dallas Cowboys take. And did you hear what Carson Palmer said on 103.5 The Fan yesterday?
I haven't heard this yet.
So, former Cincinnati Bengals USC quarterback was talking to, I think, RJ and Finn or Shan, whatever those guys' names are. Really good show down there in Dallas. You can tell because I know that name. Dak, he encouraged Dak Prescott to take more money or less money.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Because he's the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, the endorsements, the popularity, all that's coming in. Is that a fair take?
No. Take less money?
Because
of the endorsements. No.
It was okay. I'll go back to something. So when LeBron James signed with Miami Heat, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, he made less money than I want to say both of them because he knew the endorsements and stuff that went along with that.
Yeah, that's what he's driving at. Is exactly right. When you're the quarterback of the Cowboys, the off the field money and the opportunities there, it's just a bonus because of the position you're in. What people will pay you in and around the Metroplex and the southwest part of the country, if you will, because you are the quarterback of the Cowboys.
The only way I would see him taking less, and you're right about LeBron and D. Wade and Bosh, but I think it was also he took less money so they could bring talent in because, you got 3 max-level guys, and that was the first time you'd seen that. How are you able to fill out the rest of that roster? So if you look at it from that standpoint, as far as Dak Prescott, yeah, you might see if he can take a little bit less just so you can bring more talent in for him, particularly maybe on the defensive side of the ball. I think offensively this team is fine.
That's a hard sell.
It's a hard sell,
because
though.
Here's the deal. Very few endorsement deals get publicized, and people say, well, boy, he's making it. But every time a player signs a contract for X number of million over 3 or 4 years, there's a big deal made of that. Some of this is about pride and ego. I'm not going to be the 5th highest paid quarterback. I'm better than I want to be the 1, 2, or 3 highest paid quarterback in the league. Some of this is ego driven based on I'm not going to have 5 other guys in this league making more money than me.
I think from his standpoint, coming off an injury, he wants financial stability.
Well,
he wants his money, which
who doesn't? Where's the line at for people that don't want financial stability?
He's not. Is there any debate? And I know you're the residential Cowboys fan in the program. He's not a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League.
I mean, there's people that aren't top 5 at a lot of things but want to be paid that way.
Kirk Cousins is paid as a top 5 quarterback, and he's garbage.
That's I don't know what his salary is ranking up. Do you guys know what Tom Brady makes? He signed a 2-year deal.
Was
Do
it
you
40?
know what it is? It's 50.
Yeah. 50.
So he's making, and I know there's stipulations that it's not straight up 25-25, but it's the best quarterback of all time. Why did he do that? Because he wants to win. He wants to have the abilities that Bruce Arians, I don't know who their GM is, can bring in Antonio Brown, that they can have all these weapons at his arsenal. If you
and he's taken less before with the Patriots to do that. I mean, that's not new for Tom.
When someone tells me that they truly want to win, they truly want to do that. And then the late Kobe Bryant is something I disagree with him on. And listen, his winning desire was there, but he was still the 24, the max deal, 24 2 years was hurting the Lakers because they didn't have a lot of options, and he was not worth from a player standpoint. Now, all the stuff he brings in the Lakers, he was worth that more. But from a player-only standpoint, he was not worth that money at the time. So,
are you willing to give up 15% of your salary to bring players in to help you win a championship?
How bad do you want to win?
Right.
That's the question.
It's a question that he needs to answer. I mean, the numbers we've been seeing floating around, wasn't it 40 million?
Okay, but maybe we're missing the point here with Dak Prescott.
Should he take less?
If he took less, let's just say he is amenable to that. Is he still the quarterback that can get you? Let's forget the Super Bowl. Is he even capable of getting you to the NFC Championship game? So we can talk about taking less all you want, but we just sat here and said Prescott's not a top 5 quarterback. All right, so he takes a 20% haircut, 15% haircut on his salary, and hey, you can go make it off the field somewhere. Is that even going to matter? That's my point. Take less for what? Is he still good enough to get you even to the NFC Championship game?
You would have to go through Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, or Aaron Rodgers to get to that point. I would say no.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree.
You just got to think about it.
Can you even win the NFC East?
They can win the
East.
It depends on what happens with the Eagles, their new head coach, the Giants and Daniel Jones, and then a Washington football team.
I'm just saying him taking less money is no slam dunk. Hey, they'll get 2 or 3 players around him. That's going to be because what was the big issue this year, Jenkins, with the Cowboys?
It was injuries.
But which side of the ball was the bigger problem?
Offensive side.
Yeah, I mean,
easy. And defense was just every side was horrible.
Maybe that's A, B, and D.
Question,
yeah. But defense was an issue for this. All I'm saying is him taking less money does not guarantee that the Cowboys are going to get it right, and then all of a sudden they're a program or a franchise that is knocking on the NFC Championship door.
What would you two do?
And I'm not even talking about the Super Bowl. I'm just talking about being down to the NFC Championship.
Somehow, some way convince Dak to take less money because he's not worth to be paid the top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
So what is like $30 million? Is he a $30 million quarterback?
I would come up.
I'm indifferent on the deal.
I don't know facts and figures
from a player perspective. If he can get his money, go get it, my friend. But if you could take less and guarantee something in return or get something in return,
it's hard to make guys in their 20s and 30s that know the clock is ticking.
Mm-hmm.
See that taking $5 or $7 million less over a couple 3 seasons combined is a good move for them.
Yeah,
that's a hard sell. That's a hard sell because would you have a lot of faith that Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, that they're going to get the right pieces around you to help you win? Now, maybe if you had a bigger voice in selecting those pieces and people you believed in, That might be one thing, but that isn't happening with the Cowboys.
That's all fine and dandy. You bring he could take less. Then you factor in Jerry Jones.
Okay, I gave you $7 million back over the next 2 years to go do something with. I'm going to take that kind of haircut if I'm Dak Prescott. What are you going to do with that money? You going to buy another jet, or are you going to get me a left tackle?
Yeah.
Speaking of money, Jim Nantz is being courted right now by ESPN to lead their NFL Masters coverage. Now he's making $6.5 million right now with CBS. Romo signed that new $17.5 million deal.
That's what he wants.
This is
something
to think about. Ian Eagle just re-upped with CBS, who's their number 2 guy, who's fantastic.
They had to do that, so they got a safety net.
He's fantastic. He would do a marvelous job. Now, he's not going to have Nance's golf abilities, the hello friends. He can't replace that phrase. And my dad, by the way, met Nance in an elevator once. Really nice guy. I
picked all that up from an elevator ride.
He said that in the 2-minute conversation he had, he enjoyed it. I'm wondering what CBS ends up doing.
Listen here. Listen to me close. Jim Nantz isn't leaving CBS. And you just hit on why. It's the Masters. Who's going to have the Masters regardless of Jim Nantz is there or not? It's Sunday, back 9 at Augusta. And you know where Jim Nantz wants to be? He wants to be on that tower at 18. That's important to him. That's probably more important to him than another $10 million a year. Is he willing to walk away, to give up coverage of the match? I mean, I understand ESPN can put him in there on, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday coverage. That's not what Jim Nantz wants to do. His whole deal with being with CBS from 20-something years old and beyond, when he came out of Houston, roommates and with Fred Couples, he has had a dream of a career. But his goal probably, because he stated this, it wasn't the Super Bowls and the Final Fours and all the things he does. He wanted to fill Pat Summerall's chair on the 18th tower at Augusta, and that's what he's done masterfully for 30 years. So he's been a part of that coverage. So I think that is so important to him. They'll find some middle ground. He is the least paid amongst, when you look at Tirico, you look at Al Michaels, you look at guys that are doing less and getting more at other networks. He's got the leverage. CBS is going to pay him. It may not be $17 million a year, but for all he does with the Final Four, Super Bowls, NFL coverage, the list of assignments go on and on. They're not going to let him loose. He is the face of CBS Sports.
So if Romo's worth 17.5 for
he's
doing
not, but that's what they're paying
off season.
Yeah.
Well, you're paid what someone's you're worth what someone's willing to pay you. That's how I look at it. You're telling me, Nance, that what you just listed, Masters coverage, Final Four, lead NFL, tell me he's not worth 17.5? After Romo again does one portion.
I think when you look at what Tirico's making, Al Michaels is making, what Joe Buck is making, they all make more than Jim Nantz. Jim Nantz should not be the least paid amongst lead announcers in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think they're all making 10, 12 million, 14, I think, in that.
I don't know.
Is he worth more than all? Is he better than all of those other guys? And it really doesn't matter what you think about him as an announcer. The reality is, does he make a bump in ratings occur? And also, you need someone that can handle Romo in the booth that meshes and pairs what. You didn't pay Romo all that money to put an announcer with him that's not going to work. Is Ian Eagle and Tony Romo going to be the same dynamic team? No.
Is Eagle paired with Fouts? Is that who he's paired with on the Brock? Dan Fouts?
So
I'm trying to.
Ian Eagle's good. He's not Jim Nantz.
Yeah, no, there's no arguments from me there.
He got a bump, in what he's doing just because they need to make sure that if something happened, this deal fell apart, they had something to do. I'm of the belief, and it's just me and everything I've ever listened to or read about Jim Nantz. Him being a part of Augusta coverage and being a part of the Masters for 50 years is important to him.
So he wants to do this till he's 80 plus.
He's not walking, and you can do golf. I mean, we've watched Vern Lundquist retire, but he still comes back for the Masters and the PGA Championship.
16? Is that where he's at?
Yeah, he's at 16 now. He's been at different locations, but he's famous for being at the 16th tower.
Okay.
My point is, even if Jim Nantz 15 years from now, he's not doing, Nantz is in his late 50s. So let's just say 10 years from now, he's not doing the NFL and he's not doing the Final Four. He can still do the Masters. And by the way, Augusta National is going to have a heavy hand in saying who's going to be on that 18th tower. He could do that for quite a few more years. And I know that being a part of that for 50 years, he has voiced that that's a goal of his. So I don't think ultimately, and CBS knows this, Jim Nantz is walking away from CBS because nowhere else can you be the lead voice, face for the coverage of the Masters. And I don't think CBS is losing that anytime soon either.
Because we'll see what happens with his contract negotiations. All right, we got to go back to Dak Prescott because that's where PA in Texarkana wants to take the conversation. Now, PA, you voiced via YouTube that you do have a grandson that swims at LSU. I'm a little disappointed that you managed to let your grandson get off to Baton Rouge, man, when he could have been a Razorback.
Daughter, who is his mother, John David's mother, she's just like her, my ex-wife. She's going to call the shots in her family, and that's just the way it's going to be. And so I didn't poke my nose in there. So I just stayed away from that, and I'm just proud of him, whatever he does. I just hope the Hogs win every other event. That's
you should be proud. So.
But what I was wanting to say also, I want to, if you don't mind, I wouldn't mind saying something about Jim Nantz. Jim Nantz's first year, I believe, as in the tower or working for CBS was 1986, the year Jack made the unbelievable comeback.
I believe you were correct on that. Yeah.
When, his last major at 46 years old. And to me, he is the Masters, that voice. I mean, I can't imagine anybody else.
Yep.
But I want to hear Chris Berman up there doing his little shtick or anybody else. Yeah. No, I want Jim Nantz up there, with his smooth, silky voice and the way he talks. It's just the Masters to me. Mm-hmm. It always has been. But anyway, what I was going to say about Dak, the difference in Dak is that he does not or has not, with any type of regularity, lead the Dallas Cowboys on a last-minute drive and win. He'll get about to the opposing 40-yard line and fall apart. It's like he just can't quite make it to the finish line like Staubach and Aikman and even Dandy Don Meredith. I wasn't old enough to watch that, but I know he was clutch. But Dak is just not that good. I mean, he's good, but he's not Mahomes. He's not Rodgers. He's not Brady. I mean, you could go down the list. He's not Wilson. I mean, there's so many. I wouldn't say he's in the top half of the quarterbacks in the NFL. But there is something about being the guy who leads the team with the star on the helmet.
Yeah.
That there is. PA, we appreciate the call. I don't know if I can get with you on him not being a top half quarterback in the NFL of the 30 guys to choose from, but it is going to be interesting what Jerry Jones decides to do in the offseason with Dak Prescott.
All right, big game is Sunday. Get the big game bundle at Buffalo Wild Wings. This will feed about two or three of you and your friends, or one Ty Richardson. Starts at $39.99. You get 40 wings, 20 boneless, 20 traditional, and a large fry. I heard SmackDown talking yesterday. This is just what he's going to have for the Super Bowl.
Of course, yes,
40 wings, large fries, $40.
30 for me and 10 for the girlfriend.
There you go. Can't beat it. All the blue cheese you need, and you going to eat the celery? She eating the celery.
I'll eat the celery.
You'll eat the celery.
I'm like Ty. I got to make it healthy.
All right, get the wings for Sunday. Buffalo Wild Wings, Fort Smith, Conway, Sherwood, Little Rock, and in Jonesboro, it's Buffalo Wild Wings.
Hour number 2 of the Morning Rush coming at you next.
The best deals on hot tubs and endless pools in Fort Smith and Northwest Arkansas is at Burton Pools.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
That's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Every night. Want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities? Apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Are you concerned about possible COVID exposure for you or your employees? Fort Smith has a new option for PCR COVID testing that is fast and accurate. Natural State Laboratories out of Little Rock has opened a PCR COVID drive-thru location in Fort Smith at Community Bible Church. PCR testing is the most sensitive, accurate test available, and results are available the next day. No appointment is necessary. Convenient COVID PCR drive-thru testing in Fort Smith is open 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday at Community Bible Church, located at 9201 Dallas Street.
What's new with the Golf Nut? Ping G425 woods, hybrids, and irons, along with the new Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls. Keep your game sharp on the TrackMan and Foresight indoor simulation base. Make sure you call ahead for an appointment. The Golf Nut has a great selection of shoes, apparel, and accessories in stock. Everything you need to complete your game. As always, don't forget to check Facebook for daily specials. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
When you've escaped the screens and the sun bathes everything in a golden glow, and your friend hands you a cold organic beer that tastes as perfect as nature itself, that's pure gold. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the first national USDA certified organic beer. Organic by nature. Enjoy responsibly. 2020 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources, and I want to help you get a great deal on a great car. So I'm making it easy with prices up to $3,113 below retail on the best selection of Rath Road Ready vehicles we've had in months. These are late model, low mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs that have been handpicked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. You just can't buy a better pre-owned vehicle. And right now you can save with prices up to $3,113 below retail. If you're waiting on your tax refund, my TaxMax program can help with that by getting you access to your money now. Worried about your credit? Don't be. My For the People credit approval process can get you approved and driving your nicer, newer car today. If you're not in the market right now, let us take care of the car you have in our Meineke Car Care Center, the home of half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Don't wait. Get the nicer, newer car you want today and save up to $3,113 at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Increasing sunshine in the forecast for today. High temperature ranging from the low to mid-50s. A gusty west wind, especially the further north that you go. Partly to mostly cloudy as the night goes on. Lows are settling to the low 30s. A few rain showers back in the forecast by Saturday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
You're home in the River Valley for Super Bowl 55. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3. KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Honestly, I wanted to play as many SEC games here, like you said. A big part of that, Alyssa, is for recruiting, so we can get recruits in here. We play Missouri the last game of the year. We certainly want an opportunity to see the kids before go out on the road recruiting. Certainly, you can get kids here that you can recruit. I felt like we would lose a huge opportunity.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Okay. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
A lot to get to in hour number 2 of The Morning Rush. We have some prop bets we're going to get to on Fenceman Friday. I want to talk about your favorite food during the Super Bowl. What are you always eating? We got a pretty dynamic quarterback matchup between Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. What does this compare to some of the other ones we've seen in Super Bowl history? We'll also bring in Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, talk about the recent coaching hires and the conversation we had with Sam Pittman yesterday.
It's all brought to you by World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH is the number to get a hold of Ben and his crew. Call today. They can have you installed tomorrow so you can watch the big game on Sunday. Lock in your price for the next 2 Super Bowls, the next 2 NFL seasons. Get all your favorite channels, including the Red Zone channel, available on Dish as well. So if you're spending over $100 a month, most likely $120 or $130 or $140 a month for 3 or 4 TVs in the house, it's time to move to Dish, get a $100 Visa gift card, a 2-year price guarantee, and start saving $30, $40, $50 a month now with Dish versus what you're doing. 877-305-DISH be installed this weekend with World of Wireless.
Got a chance to talk about this a little earlier. I want Clay's perspective. Clay, I know you were in the press conference yesterday with Sam Pittman when he was discussing why he made the hires he did, talking about playing in War Memorial and a variety of other things. And one of the things he said is hiring young coaches, but people just assume that he would go older, and he's like, well, if that was the case, then I would just hire 60-plus years old, and they would all look like me. But he expects these guys to be able to coach and recruit. From what you know about the new hires, is that their biggest strength, is the ability to recruit?
That's one of their strengths. I think they all can coach. And I will say this, and there's a lot of people out there that think that recruiting is the end all. You better be able to coach them too. And if you can do only one, then eventually your team will suffer. So these guys, for instance, the wide receiver coach fits perfectly. He's a good recruiter, Kenny Guyton. But he fits perfectly in what they want to do as far as coaching and the wide receiver play. He's worked with Kendall Briles. I mean that's why Kendall Briles, quote, jumped up on the table for him. And I don't think that was literal. I think that's just that he was really adamant that that's the guy he wanted. And so I think that's an area that you have to have ability. I'm talking about coaching. So, yeah, but you better get freaks too. So if you have a coach that's one or the other, then he's not the complete package and not what you're looking for.
You mentioned the freaks part. Here was Sam Pittman yesterday talking about giving Jamil Walker guys to work with?
I was trying to bring in recruiters. Most of the time, if you're a good recruiter, you're a good coach, because recruiting is work and coaching is work. To get Arkansas where we all believe that it should be and where it's going to be, we have to continue to improve our recruiting. That was a big part of all these hires, along with their coaching ability. But if you want to change your room, you got to go get the players to do that. We can't just go, Jamil Walker, you get these guys bigger and nastier and stronger and all those things. We've got to help him as well, and I think these guys will.
Clay, I know he addressed it yesterday with him letting go of a couple guys, and I know Stepp on his own went to South Carolina. Was that the biggest issue with the former members of this staff, that Sam Pittman, I know Barry Odom probably had something to do with the defensive hires, that Sam Pittman didn't feel like some of the guys that were on staff previously were recruiting to the level that he wanted them to be?
Yeah, I mean, but part of it's coaching too. Now, you can't tell me that Michael Scherer is a great recruiter, because he's never done it.
Exactly.
He might be. He better be. He probably has the tools. Yeah, he probably has the tools to do it, because he's got the personality and he's good with relationships and all that kind of stuff. And
he's watched all these other guys do it too. He's seen it.
He's being coached on how to recruit, and they'll find out pretty quick. But it's so I think that you do go back to Sam Pittman, and what he has always said is that I'm just an okay ball coach. What I do is go get great players, and great players make you a better coach. I mean, that's the way it's been forever and ever. I mean, it's it's when you got a Lloyd Phillips, you're a pretty good coach. When you don't, you're not as good. If you've got a Dan Hampton or Wayne Martin, I'm talking about defensive line, specifically. The defensive line lost their best player, Jonathan Marshall, and they got to go get some guys that are like Jonathan Marshall, that are big, physical, athletic, that they can, because if you look at who you're playing every week, that's who they've got.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Derek LeBlanc is a good coach, because his players played well at Kentucky, but Arkansas didn't have the kind of defensive talent on the line, especially, that Kentucky had, and it didn't look like that's what they were bringing in. So if I point to the defensive line signees in the last class, that's probably an area that they were disappointed. Yeah. I don't think there's any question about that. And that doesn't mean the kid from Oklahoma that's 6'1" or 6 foot isn't a coveted player by them. But he's not a freak. He's not 6'5". He's going to be undersized in the SEC. So that's what Sam wants, and what Jamil Ashley that they brought from Tulsa, that's his reputation. That he recruits guys that look like him. He's 6'6", somewhere just south of 300. So he's a big, imposing man, and that's what you want in your defensive line.
It reminds me of the old adage: do fields make farmers, or farmers make fields? Which is it? You can't be a great farmer if you don't have fertile soil. So, I mean, it's the same thing what we're talking about here. You can't be a great coach unless you got great players to coach. So
yeah, the best farmer buys the best land, right?
Exactly. The best farmer understands that. He knows how to till it. He knows how to ferters it, and all of these things. But you can't take a rock patch and make the best corn patch, So that's just the way it is. So, you're exactly right. You got to be balanced. You got to have coaches that understand both of that. And then I think also are a good fit with their coordinators on either side of the ball, and just a good fit in that staff room.
Yeah, I think that I'm not a big fan of Tommy Tuberville, and I was not an advocate of him coming to Arkansas to be head coach when he lobbied for it. You remember he came to the Touchdown Club, and it was he was lobbying for any job he could find. And he's like, if the athletic director's job's open, I'm interested in that. If the football coach's job, anyway, his take on what you needed as a football coach was you needed two coaches. When I say that, an offensive coach and a defensive coach, and then the other 7 or 8 guys, whatever the breakdown is now, it's 10. They need to be recruiters and let those 2 guys coach them. Yep. So I think that's overstating it a little bit, but I also think that recruiting is pretty important.
Yep, absolutely. All right, more to come. Your calls and texts are welcome as well. We're brought to you by Standard Materials Group. They have immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have your CDL license with no automatic restriction, you like being home at nights, working with a great company that offers great pay, great benefits, a great team environment with growth opportunities. Hey, apply today. Jobs.crh.com. That's where you go. Jobs.crh.com and apply. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Coming up, I want to talk about the best quarterback matchup in the Super Bowl that you have ever seen. That is our Morning Rush poll question. We'll get to that. Also want to talk about some Super Bowl prop bets and the Little Rock game.
Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
This is Tony Bua, and you're listening to the Morning Rush.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce to today's price of $1,683. I want to talk to you about the coins you may have inherited and how important it is to deal with someone who understands coins and this market. In 2011, we had a mother and daughter come into our store and sell us a lot of jewelry they no longer wore for $3,300. The daughter then pulled out an 1850 California $10 gold piece. Jeremy offered her $900 and she accepted his offer. He then advised her to have this coin graded. She did, and she sold it for $36,000. If you don't know what you have, please come see Jeremy in our Bentonville store. Don't sell it in an auction or an estate sale and get less money. What's in your safety deposit box could be worth thousands. NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
RV show pricing is arriving early at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV wants to invite you to skip the lines and the crowds this year and shop the industry's best brands at Northwest Arkansas's premier RV dealer. And with a lifetime warranty, RV storage, and a mobile service shuttle, owning a new RV has never been easier. RV show pricing beginning now at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC has over 200 pre-owned vehicles to choose from luxury to economy and everything in between, including over 50 great vehicles with payments under $250 a month, certain to fit your needs and your budget. And at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, you always get more for your trade. 50 vehicles with payments under $250 a month at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
Whether it's a game day, a holiday, an office function, or your family lunch or dinner, Whole Hog Cafe in Fort Smith is ready to serve you their award-winning barbecue and sides. Call either of the Whole Hog Fort Smith locations on Burrow Road or Phoenix Avenue, or go online to wholehogfortsmith.com and check out their buddy packs and party packs. Both Whole Hog locations are open with limited seating until further notice. They're open 11 till 6 Tuesday through Saturday. Experience award-winning barbecue and sides at Whole Hog Cafe today.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. If you're going to do some cold water bass fishing, you need to be using a Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. It's the best lure for duplicating a small school of shad and can be worked from the top of the water column to the bottom. Whether you're trying to win a bass tournament or whoop up on a bunch of white bass and stripers, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. will catch them. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr.
At Frankrow Furniture for the month of February, Frankrow Furniture is ready to deal on cash or finance sales. Just come on in and tell us you heard this ad on ESPN 95.3 and receive huge discounts. Frankrow Furniture stands behind our furniture with service after the sale and carry as many made-in-the-USA brands as possible. We are family-owned and offer in-store no-credit check financing. Frankrow Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren. Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partner. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out at the web at artriallawyers.com.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Hey, grounds guys.
Hey, what?
I've got one guy that mows my yard, another guy that sprays for weeds, another group that does my landscaping, and I'm probably forgetting someone that does something else. Wouldn't it be easier to just call one place for all my yard work?
You betcha. When it comes to yard work, just call the grounds guys. Mowing, maintenance, weed control, landscaping. We do it all. Call 479-303-GUYS. That's 303-GUYS. Or visit groundsguys.com in Northwest Arkansas and the Fort Smith area. The Grounds Guys. Leave the yard work to us.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Devontae at the foul line goes down the lane. A little running hook shot from Davis. There's a confident freshman.
I'm going to try this call-in number.
Call or text The Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
My first official call-in.
I'm not a Kansas City Chiefs fan or a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, but I am so pumped up, so jazzed up for this matchup that you can hear right here on ESPN 95.3 and 104.3 this Sunday. And everyone keeps talking about Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. I want to talk about some of the best Super Bowl quarterbacks that we've seen in quite some time. Before we do that, I want to tell you about our friends at Razorback Camper Sales. Not only do they have a huge selection of traveler trailers, fifth wheels, and pop-ups, they can offer full prep and setup at no extra cost. You can start camping immediately as spring camping season is just around the corner. And they have the best service department and the best parts department in the state of Arkansas. It's the oldest owned family dealer in the state, doing business for over 50 years. Plus, show season is here. February 12th to the 14th, you can check out the Arkansas RV Show, and you can check out the Bowdoin RV Show in Hot Springs, February 26th through the 28th. That is Razorback Camper Sales. We have the GOAT quarterback in Tom Brady taking on what many believe could be one of the best quarterbacks to ever step on the field in Patrick Mahomes. And we've had the luxury of having some incredible quarterback matchups. And I'd ask you this morning at 877-377-6963, what is the best one that you've ever seen? Now, sometimes the matchup itself, going into it, it's not just this incredible court, but it ends up being the case. Like Jake Delhomme and Tom Brady was an incredible football game.
Right.
But Jake Delhomme does not belong in the same conversation, the same breath as Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. The ones in my lifetime that I can speak to are Ben Roethlisberger and Aaron Rodgers and Peyton Manning and Drew Brees. Those are the ones I vividly remember and I have a great memory of. But there is a heck of a lot more that we can get into when it comes to this particular conversation.
I'm surprised you didn't mention this one because it was so recent and because I know you like both these guys. When the Butler did it, when you had Seahawks, Patriots, you had Russell Wilson, Tom Brady.
It's a really good one as well.
I was surprised that wasn't the one.
Kurt Warner and Tom Brady's another one.
Right.
And he's going to, isn't that weird? He's going to be on call watching the guy that beat him and the greatest show on turf.
That's because Tom Brady's still playing, not because Kurt Warner's not.
It's wild to me.
Yeah.
Clay, there's some ones that you can speak to a little better. Now, I don't know when all these guys played. John Elway and Brett Favre was in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember how old I was at the time, but I watched highlights, but I didn't see that. Like, I can't remember that face to face. Joe Namath, Johnny Unitas, an incredible matchup. Ken Stabler, Fran Tarkenton, Jim Kelly, Troy Aikman, Dan Marino, Joe Montana, Terry Bradshaw versus Roger Staubach. Those are some of the ones that I think stand out. Clay, is there one that you can think of that you've gotten a chance to watch because you've got a few years on me that really has stood the test of time?
Tell us about the first time you saw Johnny Unitas. Come on, Clay, tell us about it.
Well, it's there's my thoughts go back to the guy that I really like to play, and I think maybe in my early days. Now, you got to remember, if you go back to the 60s and 70s, your ability to watch NFL football was one team. Mm-hmm. It's like, why are there so many Dallas Cowboy fans that grew up in Central Arkansas, South Arkansas, or whatever? Well, the only team they saw were the Cowboys. That's because it was all TV. Regional television. You didn't have all the the ability to see so many. There was only one network doing football. It was just really, you saw the Cowboys. So whoever the Cowboys quarterback was, that's who I thought was the best. So it was Roger Staubach, and then it was Don Meredith. It's.
I think we lost Clay for a sec. We'll let him get back into what he was discussing.
But he's right. You become a fan of who you watch. Why are there more Chiefs fans in North Central Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas than there are in other parts of the state? Well, a lot of that part of the state receives Springfield market TV, and that's what their dad watched. That's what they watch. It's not because they live closer to the Missouri border. That's part of it. Mm-hmm. Why are there more Cowboy fans, as Clay was talking about, in this area? There's more fans along the southern border of Arkansas of the Saints. Some of it's because you live near the Louisiana border, but a lot of it's who do you see on TV, who you're able to follow. Now things have changed with the NFL ticket and a Sunday ticket package and your ability to watch teams from anywhere, red zone, all these things.
Mm-hmm.
But Clay's exactly right. For a long time,
that's what you enjoy watching. Mahomes. I mean, he does electric things.
Clay, we just missed 2 minutes of whatever you just said because you just popped in. You there still? Did you pop out again?
I think his internet must be having issues.
In Orlando, I thought he was good, but he didn't just blow me away. And I think what he does is more mental than physical. He can make the throws, but when he throws the deep out, it's just okay.
Yeah.
It's not like you see some of the others.
Yeah.
Solid analysis.
It's all the little things that he does that makes him great.
Wonderful.
Okay. Yeah. Apparently he's throwing dots in practice, according to Tyreek Hill this week. I got a couple texts in here. Again, you want to hop in here, call or text, or get at us, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Our call-in number is 877-377-6963. Wally chimes in on Facebook.
I'm back.
Bart Starr versus Don Meredith.
Dandy Don.
Can any of you guys speak to that matchup?
I don't even remember Dandy Don in the TV booth.
I watched it.
Yeah,
I watched it. On TV. But that's a special rivalry. I mean, it's not what it was. Let's put it that way. But that was. To see the Cowboys and the Packers was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
My dad just texted me. He said that he forgot to tell me he went to the 1972 Super Bowl with his dad. The Cowboys against Miami. Staubach versus Greasy. Yeah, he spelled that wrong. I thought it was
Bob Greasy.
Bob Greasy. Yeah.
Is that Brian's dad? Okay, I was taking a wild guess when it came to that. What about the?
You did good.
Thank you, Clay. Travis chimes in, guys. The Troy Aikman Steve Young matchup.
Well, that would not have been a Super Bowl, but that would have been an NFC Championship game. But obviously two Hall of Famers. You got a left-handed quarterback with Steve Young that you rarely see the lefties at that point. And then you think about those Cowboy teams, Clay, that went on and played in those 3 Super Bowls. You think about Jim Kelly being in one of those, or I think one, maybe 2. I'm going back 30 years, but you think about some of those Cowboy games where Aikman was in there against some good quarterbacks.
This is one that comes from Jason in South Carolina. One of the greatest endings to a Super Bowl that we've ever had to take in. Steve McNair and the Tennessee Titans taking on Kurt Warner and the Greatest Show on Turf. Was it Dyson that came up short at the 1 yard line. I know he's the one that caught the Music City Miracle from Wycheck.
Maybe the greatest ending to a Super Bowl any of us have ever seen.
Now that was really, I remember that game, but again, I'm 5 or 6 years old at the time, and I just remember being stunned at how because I wasn't a Titans fan.
You were stunned at 5 years old?
I mean, I'm trying to take in sports at the time, and to come up that close by 1 yard, I mean, that's going to stick with.
We mentioned earlier that Seahawks-Patriots.
Exactly.
It's almost the same thing right there.
Malcolm Butler picks off, and this is a really young Russell Wilson that was, I don't think he was a rookie, but maybe year 2, year 3, still kind of, that was more of a running attack with Marshawn Lynch.
Why did you throw it there?
And company. Yeah, that's something that's going to haunt Pete Carroll. I don't know who their OC was at the time for the rest of his life. That's a really, really good matchup. Text out of the 803, guys, and this was one I said earlier. Brett Favre, John Elway, that matchup. What do we remember about that game?
I don't remember the specifics of that one, but I mean, obviously you just say those two names and you know, the words Hall of Fame just boom come, right out my mind.
Will from Greenwood text in the 49ers Bengals Super Bowl, Montana to Taylor. The last 2 minutes made this slant famous, is what he chimes in this morning.
Yeah, that's one. What year would that have been? 87, 88, somewhere in there? Am I thinking right? I think that's about right. So
is that the one that he caught in the back of the end zone that's like falling to the left or whatever? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah. He's thinking the past Montana Taylor. I'm thinking of. Are we talking about 49ers Bengals? Or are we thinking about? Are you talking about the one where the pass to the back of the end zone? It's so famous.
I'm trying to help.
So,
I'm trying to get some help from you guys.
I'm thinking about the one. It had to have been in the late 80s. Maybe you remember, Clay, where it was the 49ers and they were kind of hitting their stride. And the Bengals had a great team. Collinsworth was on that team with the Bengals. Boomer Esiason was their quarterback. That's the one I'm thinking about. So.
And we discussed this a little earlier. Tommy and I did before the show.
Guys, you're
Go ahead, Clay.
You guys aren't going to get. You're not going to get any help on any of this for me because my memory, I can't remember those details like that. I'd have to go back and look it up.
Okay.
So I can't even remember when the Budweiser and the little puppy commercial started. That's all. I can't even remember that kind of stuff. So I'm not much help.
Okay, we'll close on this one then. This comes from Dylan in Greenwood. He really enjoyed the matchup between Drew Brees and Peyton Manning, between the Colts and the Saints. Remember the onside kick that Sean Payton called. This is another good one that we discussed before we came on. Again, we'll close down the conversation here before we move on. The Donovan McNabb-Tom Brady matchup, that's something else that I don't know has been addressed enough this week. I know that Andy Reid is not competing against Bill Belichick. Belichick, obviously, the coach for the Patriots. Bruce Arians, the coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But Tom Brady and company outplayed in the Patriots-Eagles matchup early 2000s. I can't remember the exact year. I'm excited to see what Andy Reid, just kind of the fire that he wants. And again, the AFC Championship 2 years prior, just that incredible matchup where the Patriots won in overtime. I know there's still some differences with Tom being on a different team, new roster, new look or whatever, but it's still Tom Brady, and that's who you want to beat on Sunday.
And when it comes to Andy Reid, I don't know how many notches he goes up and what this does. I mean, history will take some time to digest this and figure out where his spot is. But if Andy Reid wins back-to-back Super Bowls and puts that on his man, he's obviously a Hall of Famer already. I don't know where he becomes placed now with the all-time great coaches. He's, like you said, not Belichick, but this is a big opportunity for Andy Reid to elevate kind of where his place all-time will be.
Inch into that conversation. Right. So when it comes to just that.
Well, so
go ahead, Clay.
I'll throw this in. When you think about where Andy Reid is, a lot of it's going to come down to how long Patrick Mahomes rolls, and when I say that, the life of a quarterback is dependent on his body. How's his shoulder? I mean, is he? All it takes is one hit on his shoulder, and you got a shoulder surgery, and he doesn't throw the same. He can't make those throws that he makes. And you've seen that through time, that, that quarterbacks aren't the same after, just one little hit or a knee or, a broken leg or something. I mean, it's like we don't know how Dak Prescott's going to be when he comes back after the injury he had. It's gruesome. So but if Patrick Mahomes gets on a roll, Andy Reid, this could be number 2 of 5. I mean, so it's important in the context of history and how you do remember Andy Reid, because it could be something special, because they have got some really nice parts besides Mahomes.
That they
I mean,
do.
This is a really good team. Yeah.
Hey, do you need a COVID-19 test and you're trying to figure out where to go? If you're in the River Valley listening this morning, Natural State Laboratories has you covered with a new drive-through location in Fort Smith. Natural State Laboratories provides a PCR test, which is the most sensitive, most accurate test that you can get. And all you need is your driver's license and your insurance card when you show up at their testing location at 9201 Dallas Street in Fort Smith. The test is free to you either through your insurance or through the CARES Act. It will cover all of the costs, so nothing out of pocket. You don't need an appointment. Doctor's orders aren't required to get tested, so if you just think you've been exposed, you have symptoms, or you just want the peace of mind to know if you have a positive or negative test at this point, hey, come on over and get tested with Natural State Laboratories. 8 to 1 today at Community Bible Church. Here's the best thing about Natural State Laboratories. They have their own lab in-state, so you get the results tomorrow. No waiting 2, 3, 4 days and having that nervousness. You test today before 1 o'clock, you get the results tomorrow delivered to your phone. All right, where do you go? Community Bible Church, 9201 Dallas Street in Fort Smith. And again, they'll have you the results tomorrow when you test anytime Monday through Friday from 8 to 1. Natural State Laboratories, healthcare providers available and ready to help you with your COVID testing.
So the Arkansas State game is set early September 2025. And inevitably, there's going to be a nickname, a battle for something, a bowl for something, whatever.
Basil creating a trophy?
Yeah, the Basil Bowl. That would be a good idea. So I've come up with a list of names that we could potentially call the bowl. Tommy, you have your buzzer and your Dean Bell there on our computer. Clay, Tommy, you guys tell me if you like these or not. I'm going to roll through them real quick, and listeners hop in at 877-377-6963 if you guys like them or not, via call, via text. The Rice Bowl.
I think we can do better, but that's passable.
Okay.
Let's do no worse than that one.
What do you think, Clay?
That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. When I think about Rice Bowl, I was just like, man, we're fixing to have some Thai food.
Yeah.
Okay. Diamond in the Rough.
Both schools way too far from Murfreesboro.
Okay. The Natural Bowl.
I'll go that one. Yeah. Natural State. That makes sense.
The Arkansas River Rivalry.
Better. Like that one. It's hard to say.
If the schools are on the river, I would say so. But both schools are far away from the river, so maybe the bowl is close to the river.
The game is going to be.
Yeah,
played
but I don't really get that. Though. Go ahead.
Battle for the Rock.
That's not bad.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. The Diamond Bowl.
You already said that.
Yeah.
What's that? Diamond in the Rough.
No.
Rumble in the Rock.
I like that one better.
Like that one better. Okay.
Not really original, but it sounds good.
Last Stand in Little Rock. No. Okay.
Maybe the last stand for War Memorial, but no.
Or the last stand for the Razorback coach that loses it.
Exactly. Either coach that loses it.
The Game of Opportunity. No.
We're not the land of opportunity anymore.
How long
That used to be the state phrase.
Oh, no, that used to, and that's why I brought it up. The Wonder Bowl.
I hate that one.
Yeah.
The Rock. Nice and simple.
Playing for a rock. Nah.
The Built Different Bowl. Showdown in Pulaski County. No. What about
statewide event?
Okay.
One Razorback. #1 Razorback.
I mean, I this was my thought when I saw your list last night, and I think Asa Hutchinson had quite a lot to do with setting this game up.
Yes,
and so I would call it the Governor's Bowl.
Okay,
and just I just think that
it's the Governor's Cup.
This is his stadium. He's made the decision that we're not going to abandoned the stadium, and he's put some money in it. He controls the stadium, and he's the one that benefits the most by this game being played because it means the Razorbacks stay in town.
Even though he's not going to run for governor again because he's term limited.
No, he can't. Yeah,
but
it's
part of his legacy. It's part of his legacy as governor. Asa is not going to let the Razorbacks no longer play in War Memorial Stadium under his watch.
Let's get through some more of these. We got a bunch of texts that are piling up. The Cheese Dip Bowl. Okay.
No.
War Memorial Throwdown.
Yeah.
Okay. This one I laughed out loud. The Bowl with No Name.
Oh, absolutely. There you go.
When someone sent me that yesterday,
Tommy Smith approved.
I laughed out loud at that. War in the Rock.
I like it. I'd give it a ding, but I think a lot of people, when you use the word war.
No. Little Rock Rumble.
We can do better.
The Broyles Bowl.
No.
No.
He would not approve.
Yeah, I don't think so. Last one I've got, and before we get to these texts, the Arkansas Alley fight.
No. That's rinky dink.
Okay. All right, we got.
You could say the rumble on the golf course.
Okay. This one comes from
the
Matt.
Fight on the fairway.
Because that might happen. Yeah. That might happen.
I know we are.
There might be a rumble out there somewhere.
I know we are a Busch Light state, but this fits. I think the Natural Bowl, sponsored by Natty Light. I'm in for that. I
like the word natural in all this.
Okay.
The natural state, the natural. You want to tie everything
I thought
together?
you'd go for the White Claw bow. Yeah, I thought you'd go for the White Claw bow.
Justin chimes in. He says the Ozark Mountain rivalry.
It's not going to be played in the Ozark Mountains. So, not
yeah, in Arkansas State is definitely not in the Ozarks.
No,
Okay.
They're in those rice fields you're talking about earlier.
Again, you can hop in here. We got a bunch of texts piling up.
Yeah.
The Rice and Duck Bowl from JT in Hot Springs.
No.
It's too long.
It's too long and it doesn't make sense. Arkansas, Fayetteville's not where you go to duck hunt, and the Rice is on that.
If they were going to play it in Stuttgart, you could do that.
Yeah,
it's
we're not playing in
Duck Gumbo.
Arkansas County. Yeah.
Will from Greenwood says the Big Brother versus Little Brother Bowl.
It's fitting, but it's a mouthful.
They're not even brothers. They're distant cousins. I don't. The Wannabe Bowl comes from Rod. JV in Benville chimes in, says the Backyard Bowl.
The Backyard Bowl? Nah. What's the reference there? I guess I'm missing that one.
I don't know.
Okay.
Brad Salesville says the Hillbilly Flatlander Shootout.
I don't think that fit on a hat, so we're going to have to. I like the effort, but I don't think you could embroider that. So
Jason in Frankfurt chimes in. He says the Suey Howell Cup.
I know what he's driving at there. I think that's hard to market, but
I would agree with you.
The howling on both the front of the fight song and the Red Wolf howl, that both need to go away.
Bill in Fayetteville says the Stupid for Playing Bowl.
How about the we're only going to play once bowl?
I like that one. Evan in Monroe, Louisiana says, I like this. The Capital Bowl, sponsored by Capital
Call it
One.
the one and done. Call it the one and done.
Yeah.
The one and
Call
done
it the
bowl.
one and done.
I'll give you that.
We're going to do this once, and that's it. Arkansas is going to win by 70, and then we're done.
Wes in Benville says the Step Brothers Bowl. Like that?
I like the movie, The Step Brothers. There's a lot of references from that movie we cannot bring up on the show.
Unfortunately.
All right, last one. Then
All right,
gotta
we
go.
will come back to this because this is
the How about Kiss Your Cousin Bo?
There you go.
We'll come back to this because I keep getting texts on this. But before we do that, I want to tell you about our friends at Gaston's. Now, Tommy, my dad and my stepmom have booked a trip at the end of February at Gaston's White River Resort, and they are excited to go, man.
Did they invite you?
No, it's a parent whatever.
A parent whatever weekend. It's a we're not taking tie weekend is what it is. But I tell you what, I hope they ask for the winter rates because you save 40% right now. And you mentioned Valentine's Day and them getting kind of a romantic getaway to ease from the stress and the tension of you being their son, and they need to relax and unwind. And they picked the perfect place at Gaston's to kind of forget about all the knuckleheaded things that you do. And you can go to Gaston's. If you never even fish, you can just sit and look at that river roll by and relax. But we really want you to get out with one of their great guides and fish on the White River. That's what it's all about. Winter rates, 40% off, Plan you a getaway at Gaston's White River Resort. 870-431-5202. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
Hey,
this is Alan Hahn from Bart Hahn on ESPN Radio, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
That's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Accurate. Natural State Laboratories out of Little Rock has opened a PCR COVID drive-thru location in Fort Smith at Community Bible Church. PCR testing is the most sensitive, accurate test available, and results are available the next day. No appointment is necessary. Convenient COVID PCR drive-thru testing in Fort Smith is open 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday at Community Bible Church, located at 9201 Dallas Street.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Doe's Eat Place is now open to serve you the award-winning steaks you've been missing, along with your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Doe's Eat Place welcomes their loyal diners back and new diners to experience the best steaks, atmosphere, and service in the River Valley. The patio is also open for your dining pleasure. Just call for reservations. Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
What's new with the Golf Nut? Paying G425 woods, hybrids, and irons, along with the new Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls. Keep your game sharp on the TrackMan and Foresight indoor simulation base. Make sure you call ahead for an appointment. The Golf Nut has a great selection of shoes, apparel, and accessories in stock. Everything you need to complete your game. As always, don't forget to check Facebook for daily specials. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar. Full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning, your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC has over 200 pre-owned vehicles to choose from luxury to economy and everything in between, including over 50 great vehicles with payments under $250 a month, certain to fit your needs and your budget. And at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, you always get more for your trade. 50 vehicles with payments under $250 a month at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Tate spins at the right elbow, gets Brown in the air, the shot goes, and he's headed to the free throw line. What a nice move by Jalen Tate.
Video streaming live on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube.
The only thing that I watch on Facebook is the Morning Rush. That's it.
We're going to get into our Fence Man Friday picks coming up here in just a sec as we welcome in Sean here from the Fence Man. Before we do that, though, you had two nicknames for this matchup.
We're trying to figure out what to name the Arkansas State game.
And I got 20-something text here on my board that we will come back to in hour number 3. But I'll let you do your two that you came up with before we get into our picks.
Well, I college reference, the Animal House Bowl.
All right.
I'm all aboard that.
And then, again, the Wild Things, because they're two wild animals. So, I don't know.
Razorbacks, Red Wolves, yeah.
Yeah.
A Razorback would take down a Red Wolf, right? If they got tangled up, there's no doubt about who's winning that, right?
Yeah, it's
a Razorback.
That game is going. I mean, you think that Blake Anderson's not there anymore? It's Butch Jones,
right?
The garbage man.
Well, will he be there in 5 years though?
That's a good point. This is going to be.
Well, you could have a trophy for champions for life.
Yeah, there you go.
That you could. All right, so it's a little different this week. We do have the Super Bowl game we get to pick, but we get to pick some Super Bowl prop bets on a Fence Man Friday.
Fence Man Friday Picks. Call the Fence Man for all kinds of fences, controlled access, and custom iron projects. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. We ain't afraid of no work.
The national anthem singers are Jasmine Sullivan and Eric Church. It's going to be a duet. The over-under on the national anthem as it stands is 1 minute and 59 seconds. Guys, does it go over or does it go under? And this is a note that Jenkins added in. Bovada notes that the national anthem timer starts when the artist sings the first word. The time is up when they stop singing Brave. 1 minute 59 seconds. Y'all going up, y'all going down?
I'm going under.
Okay.
Over.
Clay?
I pray that it's under.
Every artist wants their stage. They're going to go as long as they can.
I'll take with Sean. Minute 59, that's a long time, but I'm with you, man. I think it goes over. I think that's where it ends up. The Weeknd is performing the halftime show, I believe. Will there be a wardrobe malfunction like we've seen in years past during the halftime show?
I hope not.
No. The NFL will not allow that to happen. And if it does happen, we'll never see it because they're going to have like a 2-minute delay.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
Clay?
No wardrobe malfunction.
They're going to black out the whole screen.
Yeah.
Who's doing the halftime?
The Weeknd.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you've got that in your playlist,
Yeah,
right?
I was going to say you probably know all of his.
What is the Weeknd?
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday.
Give us 2 or 3 of their hits there, Clay.
Man, I always count Friday too. I think we're to the weekend.
Well,
right
I
now.
mean, the real pros count Thursday, but whatever.
I say no. I don't think there's going to be any problems on the weekend.
I think that I'm in agreement with that. The color of the Gatorade bat that's either going to be poured on Andy Reid or Bruce Arians. Is it going to be orange, red, clear, blue, purple, lime green, or yellow? What color are we going with? Sean, I'll let you go first. What color of Gatorade is going to be poured?
Red.
Red?
You can actually get a bet on this, folks. This isn't something Ty just made up. I know it sounds ridiculous, but you can actually lay a bet on this.
Really?
Yeah, you can.
We got to get some inside information on this.
Yeah.
He's going red. Red's plus 165 if you want to put some money on it, Sean.
Yeah.
Tommy, where are you going?
I'm going with the clear, the water, because I think there's more water jugs on the sideline than there is Gatorade jugs. So I'm going water.
Okay. Clay?
I go water.
And I go water also
Clear.
because everybody wants to drink the Gatorade too. So that may be gone, even though it's not going to be real hot. What are you drinking? If you get Gatorade or water, your choice, you're drinking the Gatorade, right? There'd be water left over at the end of the game.
Oh, well.
You can have clear Gatorade.
But
but
clear's not as dramatic.
It doesn't taste as good.
Yeah. I think the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, it depends on what you put in it.
All right. I think the Kansas City Chiefs are ultimately going to win this game, so I'm going to go red. I think there might be some marketing in there.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. Super Bowl MVP. Clay, I'll let you pick this one. We going one of the quarterbacks? We going one of the Legion of Zoom? Maybe an unheralded guy heading into this game? Clay, who do you think is going to be the Super Bowl MVP?
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce.
Good
That's
pick.
a good pick. He's plus 1,000 on Bovada. Tommy?
I think it'll be one of the quarterbacks. So now it comes down to who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
My dad said Chiefs last night.
I want the Chiefs to win, but there's something about Tom Brady riding off into the sunset. Now the Super Bowl, give me Tom Brady.
John?
It's going to be one of the two quarterbacks because this is a battle of the very experienced and the young. And so they're going to highlight that through the whole game. So I'm gonna take Mahomes. Yep.
If the Bucks win, it could be the barber for the Chiefs. It could be the MVP.
That is true. Here's what I'll say. Clay picked an interesting one in Travis Kelce. I'll go outside the box as well. Tyreek Hill is untouchable. He is.
That was the other. Yeah. So the key to this game is who do the Bucks want to stop? And I think they'll want to stop Hill. They'll double him. You can't double both of those guys, and that's what happens. That's why Travis Kelce gets all those catches, is because people are really worried about. Travis Kelce can catch 15 passes, and he may not beat you. Hill can catch 4 and beat you because they're all touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a good pick.
Willie Greenwood says Antonio Brown is going to be his MVP. Could see AB stepping up in a big-time game. All right, last one. The game itself. Buccaneers, Chiefs, Super Bowl 55. Kansas City's a 3-point favorite. So we're going to pack this. We've just done picks to this point. We're going to pick the odds to this. Are we going Chiefs -3? Or are we going Bucks +3? Clay, you kick things off in this pick.
I'll take the Chiefs, and I guess that's who I'm going to pull for. So a lot of times I just pick the team I'm pulling for because it just makes sense that you're
the way you can remember it. That you're
emotionally you're involved that way. Yeah, that's fine.
I will be kicked out of the house I'm watching it in if I cheer for the Bucks, so I'm going to go Chiefs in this one. And my dad grew up in the Kansas City area. He's a Chiefs fan. He's going Chiefs. Sean, you going Brady or Mahomes in this one?
I'm Mahomes going to Chiefs all the way.
So I got a chance here. All three of you on the Chiefs.
Where are we on
if I were you, I would take Tom. That's it.
Give me Tom terrific then. Give me them Bucks.
And maybe it's a 1-point game.
But I will have my Chiefs pull over on. I'll be rooting for the Chiefs.
There you go.
Happy hedge, I guess, for me.
Really excited again. Sunday starting at 4 o'clock. Super Bowl coverage beginning at 4. And we'll have the game for you. Kevin Harlan, Kurt Warner on the call. ESPN 95.3 and ESPN 104.3.
So if you're listening in North Central Arkansas or the River Valley, you can hear it right on the radio station you're listening to now. So, hey, we're brought to you by the Fence Man this morning. Those are our Fence Man Friday picks. I can tell you myself, if you need gates, fence work, anything done, Fence Man was over this week. You guys got some gates lined up and repaired for me.
Yes, sir.
Quick and easy. You're doing another gate for me soon.
Yep.
You guys make it so easy to get your fencing project complete.
We do. We try to walk you all the way through the whole steps.
Yep, 782-3936. If you've got an image in your head, you can imagine a custom project. You want something a little bit different, something to match the neighbor's fence, something that doesn't match the neighbor's fence.
Yeah.
You guys can put that project together.
We can. I also have access if you want a custom iron gate and put a Razorback on the front of it. I'll get that lasered out and slapped on there for you.
All right, 782-3936. And, hey, 18 months, same as cash financing available with the Fence Man. Hey, enjoy the Super Bowl, and we'll see you next Friday.
I am going to enjoy it tremendously.
Hour number 3 of the Morning Rush coming up. We'll get back into the Arkansas State matchup. And what is the food Super Bowl Sunday that you can't go without? All that's coming up on hour number 3.
RV show pricing is arriving early at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV wants to invite you to skip the lines and the crowds this year and shop the industry's best brands at Northwest Arkansas's premier RV dealer. And with a lifetime warranty, RV storage, and a mobile service shuttle, owning a new RV has never been easier. RV show pricing beginning now at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
So, you upgraded to the elevated ride of the 2021 Toyota Highlander.
New Highlander, Mr. D?
Yeah, figured it was time for something nicer, more refined.
Look at this thing. I mean, that moonroof is pretty sweet.
It's extremely stylish.
That's not all. As you can see, it has leather seats, dual-zone climate control,
and comes with all the latest tech.
And Android Auto. Check out this 12.3-inch touchscreen. Great for navigation, hands-free communication, music.
Awesome.
The Highlander also has loads of space and even a third-row seat.
Did I see 5 USB ports?
You sure did, buddy.
Perfect place for your daughter's new boyfriend.
This is so embarrassing.
Elevate every ride in the new 2021 Highlander.
Get $1,500 customer cash, or qualified lessees can lease a new 2021 Highlander L for only $279 a month for 36 months with $29.99 due at signing. Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at toyota.com for feature availability. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and 3/1/21.
The best deals on hot tubs and endless pools in Fort Smith and Northwest Arkansas is at Burton Pools and Spas. Achieve your health and wellness goals in 2021 with a fantasy spa starting at just $28.95 with 28 selections to choose from. Or the endless pool fitness systems. They give you boundless fitness with swimming year-round. Delivered, installed, and ready to use from Burton Pools and Spas. Burton Pools and Spas in Fort Smith and in Northwest Arkansas. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources, and I want to help you get a great deal on a great car. So I'm making it easy with prices up to $3,113 below retail on the best selection of Rath road-ready vehicles we've had in months. These are late-model, low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs that have been hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. You just can't buy a better pre-owned vehicle. And right now, you can save with prices up to $3,113 below retail. If you're waiting on your tax refund, my TaxMax program can help with that by getting you access to your money now. Worried about your credit? Don't be. My For the People credit approval process can get you approved and driving your nicer, newer car today. If you're not in the market right now, let us take care of the car you have in our Meineke Car Care Center, the home of half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Don't wait. Get the nicer, newer car you want today and save up to $3,113 at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Brr, it's cold, but winter is actually a good time to paint that room you've been meaning to get to. This is Sue from the paint store in Van Buren, and I would love to help you with a great color selection from Richards Paint. Need to do some outdoor painting? The paint store's low temp application product from Richards is usable down to 35 degrees. Experience our 30 plus years of expert friendly advice that you can't get at a national brand store. The paint store in Van Buren, 1414 Fayetteville Road.
There's an old saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Hi, this is Scott at Calico County. 2021 is here, and no doubt a lot has changed in the last year. But something that has stayed the same is Calico County's award-winning food. Great portions that are fresh and always cooked from scratch. Something that we have changed is improved curbside service for those of you that don't want to fight the crowds. And of course, we will never change those great cinnamon rolls that everyone loves. So for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or catering, it's Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue, behind Randall Ford.
At Franco Furniture for the month of February, Franco Furniture is ready to deal on cash or finance sales. Just come on in and tell us you heard this ad on ESPN 95.3 and receive huge discounts. Franco Furniture stands behind our furniture with service after the sale and carry as many made-in-the-USA brands as possible. We are family-owned and offer in-store no-credit check financing. Franco Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names. And tractors that weigh more, do more. Visit your local TYM dealer to see how they can upgrade your productivity. See Bush Tractor at 7301 South Zero in Fort Smith or log on at bushtractor.com.
Have you ever been to River City Bistro for a brunch on the weekends? Every Saturday and Sunday, River City is open at 10 a.m. with a special brunch menu. Eggs and omelets any way you like. Premium bacon, sausage and ham, waffles, eggs Benedict, and a great drink menu featuring mimosas, Bloody Marys, and all your brunch favorites. We will see you for brunch every Saturday and Sunday starting at 10 a.m. at River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Increasing sunshine in the forecast for today. High temperature ranging from the low to mid-50s. A gusty west wind, especially the further north that you go. Partly to mostly cloudy as the night goes on. Lows are settling to the low 30s. A few rain showers back in the forecast by Saturday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Your home in the River Valley for Super Bowl 55. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3. KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Honestly, I wanted to play as many SEC games here, like you said. A big part of that, Alyssa, is for recruiting, so we can get recruits in here. We play Missouri the last game of the year. We certainly want an opportunity to see the kids before go out on the road recruiting. Certainly, you can get kids here that you can recruit. I felt like we would lose a huge opportunity.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Bushlight Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Hour 2, we got into the question, what should we call the Arkansas State team at game? And we have 20-some odd texts, social media mentions that we're going to get to that you have chimed in this morning. If you want to get on that conversation, you can in just a sec. We're also going to touch on what Super Bowl food you have to have this Sunday, as well as some hog news coming up.
Hey, Wheels RV in Springdale, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49, is ready to take care of you with RV show pricing that's already underway on the best brands, because that's what they have. Grand Design, Forest River, the solar-powered Vibe, the all-new Alliance RV fifth wheels, KZ Sportsman. The list goes on, and you're going to find great deals and discounts with RV show pricing already at Wheels RV. They have a mobile service shuttle. They're the only place you're going to get a lifetime warranty either side of the tunnel, and they even have on-site storage available for you as well. So stop in and see them. Get RV show pricing today at the only place you'll get a lifetime warranty in Northwest Arkansas or the River Valley. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale.
This comes from Brad. He says, just call it what it will be. The Red Wolf sacrifice. Yay or nay? You like that?
Yeah, I'll go with that one.
Okay. Got a couple again. If you want to hop in this conversation, it's 877-377-6963. Desmond on Facebook says, it's about time, Bull.
I think there's a lot of people that feel that way.
Okay. That's what Desmond says. Justin says this is kind of a combination of what I said earlier. Rumble on the river? No.
No, I'll go with that one. I hit the wrong button, honestly. But
Colton in Fayetteville says
it's not real creative. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not Rumble on the river. Did
we say this one earlier? The somebody might get fired bull?
Oh, somebody definitely. If Arkansas loses that game, somebody definitely getting fired. So
this one comes out of the 479. The Hills versus the Plains game.
Too much explaining to people that have never been to Jonesboro. What percentage of our state has never been to Jonesboro? There's you a good question.
Good. That is a good question. Clay, do you make your way to Jonesboro ever?
Well, I do actually, now that I live in Norfolk quite often, because anytime if I go to Oxford or everything is through Jonesboro, from Norfolk down, through Jonesboro, then Memphis. So, yeah. I mean, before that, it'd been a while.
Yeah. A lot of bugs out there.
There was actually, this
don't
is
stumble
just my...
upon Jonesboro. Just happen to be driving through.
This is going to surprise you, but the place that we sell the most Hogs Illustrated is in Jonesboro.
I don't doubt that. That doesn't surprise me a bit.
How about that?
Yeah.
This text or this Facebook message, guys, comes from David. Be careful what you ask for, Bull.
I hope that is fitting. Yeah. By the way, where do I get my Red Wolves Illustrated? Where can I find that, Clay? Any idea?
I don't think there's been one yet.
No, it hadn't been one? Okay. Just checking.
I don't know if they have enough of a fan base to get that going. The Mega Bowl, this text out of 479.
No. Too generic.
Aaron in Springdale says the Big Booty Bowl. I don't know. Okay. Jason.
About the Massacre of Markham.
The what of Markham?
The Massacre on Markham.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
You have the Miracle on Markham. You have the Massacre on Markham. The Battle for Arkansas comes from Jason.
I'm indifferent on that.
Just indifferent.
So I'll go over to, yeah.
Okay. Whit says the Who's Your Daddy Bowl. Sponsored by... What's that?
I like that one.
I like that one a lot.
I
like that one a whole lot.
Oh, we can get that sponsored by GoDaddy.
Yeah.
Justin says the Redneck Rivalry.
Oh, that absolutely fits all of us.
B in Clarksville in reference to the afternoon program, the Get a Bowl.
Yeah, I like that one a lot too. Takes a little explaining, and you're gonna have to get the T-shirt laid out just right. But Get a Bowl.
I mean, but it's not really going to be a bowl. I think it's going to be more like the name the trophy, and we need to help Basil because he's going to make a trophy.
The Basil
Bowl. Be a trophy.
The Basil Bowl.
Yeah, the Basil Bowl.
Ryan from Bella Vista, the Why Are We Here Bowl.
Why are we still in War Memorial Stadium? I get that. Yeah.
JT Hot.
We're only going to do this once bowl. That's the name of it.
The JT Hot Springs jumps in. The Let's try and create a rivalry between two teams that have never played bowl.
And I can call them rivals before they've ever played 5 years in advance. Yeah.
Here's another, the no-win situation for the Razorbacks Bowl.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Rod says the Practice Squad Bowl. No. Colton Fayetteville, the Toilet Bowl.
No. We've heard that one so many times. We can do better.
Denison Van Buren, the Hillbilly Bowl.
That's fitting.
James and Elkins says the one I
need
said.
to play in Ozark, though. We're going to do that.
Yeah, James and Elkins says the one I said earlier, the Diamond Bowl. Do we have to incorporate Diamond somehow?
Well, I mean, but again, Murfreesboro, where the crater of Diamonds is so far removed from either school and where you're playing, it doesn't really fit. But, I mean, obviously the state, to the people that know, understand the correlation, the connection. But it's not in the southwest part of the state in any way, shape, or form.
Okay. Bob in Fayetteville, y'all, he says the Grand Old Lady Bowl.
No, it's the gray old lady that's at Legion Field, right? So,
no.
I don't think anyone calls War Memorial the Grand Old Lady or either one of these programs. That doesn't fit with me.
Okay.
There's nothing grand about it.
No, there's nothing.
Hey, easy.
Well, isn't that what they call Legion Field? The gray old lady, I think is what they call that one.
Chaz in Fayetteville says Battle of the Wild.
Too much of a thinker.
Troy says the Who Gives a... Do your...
Yeah. Oh, you want the buzzer?
Who Gives a Blank Bowl.
Yeah.
Who Gives a... Can I do the cough drop?
Yep.
There's only one pressure on one side bowl. Comes from Kevin and Alma.
That's true. So.
The free shot bowl.
Yeah, free shot, yeah.
One free shot.
Will from Greenwood says the Who Gives a Rip Bowl.
Yeah. Basically what we said a moment ago.
Yeah.
Just cleaner version.
Mike from Rogers says the Hell is Frozen Over Bowl.
Yeah, that's about right.
Is that a good one?
Or how about the Governor Made Us Play Bowl, you know? I think I'll call it that.
Listen, I'm very proud of our listeners because they've given us some good one this morning.
They keep coming in.
So,
I mean,
we
shut the internet down here.
The Red Challenge comes from Bill and Mina. Do we like that?
The Red Challenge? No.
That's too much like the red light district. I don't like it.
The Don't Get Mugged while in Little Rock Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
What? Can I ask something? And from the Fort Smith people that I've talked to, for whatever reason, Little Rock has been painted as this like dangerous town to live in, and I don't get that. Is it that bad?
When they do the first 48 from there, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I know you don't get it because you grew up, silver spoon in mouth on the west side of Little Rock, going to play tennis and golf at Chenal every day.
Middle class, never been a
private
country
school
club
kid,
member.
private school kid, all these things. But yeah, get over. There's parts of town that you don't want to be in, ever.
Okay. Chris in Paris says the better than the Battle Line Rivalry Bowl.
The what?
The better than the Battle Line Rivalry Bowl.
I get with some of that. Yeah.
Apache Steve, the Great Arkansas Wolf Hunt.
I'll pass that one. Yeah.
You pass on. The Uninteresting Bowl, that comes from Travis. Okay. Nick from Texarkana, the Better Than You Are Bowl. James Denelkins chimes in again. The Shut Up the Red Wolves fan base bowl.
Yeah. It's the Governor Made You Play bowl.
I know Pittman was joking yesterday that he hopes he's the head coach for this game. And as I'm sitting here this morning, I hope he is too. And I hope whether it's Butch Jones or whatever person they hire at Arkansas State, I hope they just beat the absolute living snot out of that school from Jonesboro. And I have friends that went to Arkansas State, but this idea that you belong on the same playing field as the Arkansas Razorbacks is preposterous, and it's annoying. Gary and Fort Smith, you'll like this, the Save the Stadium Bowl.
That's exactly what the governor's doing here.
Hog Mafia says, just another game. We like that?
No, because it's not. It's not just another game, unfortunately.
Chris in Greenwood says, the battle for the bottom.
That could mean too many things.
Scott Mountain Home, the Red Wolf Barbecue.
Yep, I like it.
You like that? Let's see.
Just a barbecue bowl, yeah. Just plain that ain't bad.
Ain't bad. That's why he's the publisher, folks.
Russ from Jonesboro, the never-ending bowl.
No, because it's going to end. They're going to play once. There will be an ending. They're going to play once. Arkansas is going to win by 100, and it'll be over.
Calvin chimes in on Facebook. The Farewell to War Memorial Bowl.
That's kind of where you're thinking you're headed.
Jeffrey Dirks, the Battle for the A.
No, because Arkansas will always have the A.
870, the Hogs lose no matter what bowl.
That's true.
Scott and Cave Springs, the Hunter Yurchek Regret Bowl.
Well,
how about Hunter's Folly?
Hunter's Folly. The White River butt whooping comes from Chaz in Fayetteville.
It's not near the White River, so no.
Let's see. It's been said. Rod Ace's Revenge. So
what does that mean?
I don't know. This would be more like BB's Revenge.
I got to ask what does that mean? Aces. I thought it said Aces.
Aces.
Aces. I said Ace's Revenge. I'm like, what is Aces?
Could be BB's
Revenge.
Revenge.
Yeah, I sound like Governor's Bowl has a better ring.
Yeah. I like the Governor's Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Wyatt from P Ridge also says that it's just another game. I'm trying to think. This one's good. Gary and Fort Smith, don't make Stevens Inc. mad bowl. No, you don't like that?
There's this narrative that I don't think this is something that the folks over there at the Stevens Tower have been clamoring for. We got to have this.
No, I can promise you that's not true.
Exactly.
I mean, they haven't, because I know them. Yeah. They're my friends, so I can promise you that this isn't something they came up with.
Exactly.
The governor did, but not the Stevens folks.
You guys are just taking away the fun of this diatribe.
Let's not let the truth get in the way.
Yeah, it's listen. On sports radio.
Just in case you haven't figured this out, I'm always going to be for truthful. It's if there's someone that's not true, then I'm going to say something. So go ahead, Ty. You can do it.
Okay, Clay. The Duel for the Diamond. You still not bad? You like that better?
All the diamond references are off the table. Yeah. I mean, it's just I don't
get
it. Yeah.
Nate chimes in that no one cares outside of the State Bowl.
Now that is true. I mean, when you get these in-state rivalries, it's and I'll promise you that very seldom when you're at ESPN do they think, well, that's the game we got to do, because they know that the viewership is in one state.
Yeah.
You mean CBS hasn't already reserved this game for that week?
You tell me.
ESPN, CBS will be gone by then. So ESPN hasn't already made the call that hey, I don't care if Alabama's playing LSU, I don't care if Florida's playing Georgia. That we're putting the dadgum Arkansas State game on. They haven't made that call yet?
I would guess that it's going to be on the SEC network. That's my guess.
Plus.
Michael.
Alternate.
Plus. No, it'll be on the – no.
Get your
Football
app
games
out.
are never on Plus.
Michael chimes in on Facebook. Rednecks in the Rock. We like that.
True. I mean,
Okay.
I'm with Clay. I just want truth.
Text on 479, the Napoleon's Complex Bowl.
Too much explaining. Too much of a thinker.
James and Elkins again, the Crowley's Ridge Ozarks Bowl. It's kind of long.
Most people in our state probably don't know where Crowley's Ridge is.
I don't. B in Clarksville, the What's Your Beef Bowl.
I give it that.
Okay.
Kind of fits in with our show.
Bob in Fayetteville, the Do It and Forget It game. Actually, from Robert in Springdale. And these are
it depends on how it turns out, whether it'll be forgotten
Sean's
or not.
got the best one ever.
What's Sean's, Tommy?
I'll let you read it.
Let me find it. Where'd it go? The Tommy Kraft Bowl.
There you go.
You're in?
I'm in.
We'll just call it the TC Bowl.
TC Bowl. Text out of 479, the Pork and Beans Bowl. I'll get with that. I like pork and beans. Colton Fayetteville, Clay, you'll appreciate this. The Clay Don't Get Animated Bowl.
Yeah. Wrong button. All right.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Easy, Clay. Easy.
Brandon from Paris. How about the Swines and the Canines? You like that?
I kind of like the ring of that.
Swines at the canine.
Swines and canines. Now that's got some potential there.
Jimbo from Hackett. Best of the West versus the least of the East.
Yeah.
He hadn't been the best of the West lately. Might want to think before you start saying that. The We Don't Want a Rival to be a Sunbelt school sponsored by the Broyles Foundation. These are great. I am so thankful for our Morning Rush listeners. You make this show sometimes. The 11 a.m. Regional TV Bowl, like y'all were saying.
They're going to play it at 10:30.
Good grief.
We could call it the Raycom wishes, the way Raycom returns bowl.
We'll get the three Daves involved.
The third cousin twice removed bowl.
That's why I say kiss your cousin. You know, that was,
Why is that an Arkansas thing? Why do we get pinned with that?
We didn't know she was our cousin. We didn't know that.
God.
Yeah, I mean, who's done that far down the family tree?
Yeah.
You know, just because your tree doesn't fork, just
because your tree doesn't fork. Oh man, let's keep going.
I'm moving on.
You want to move on?
Yes, move on.
All right, we'll get to some more stuff real quick. We'll welcome in Bert, who's in Buffalo City. Bert, you're on the Morning Rush, man. Go ahead.
Y'all didn't mention fist fight on the golf course.
I said
we
brawl.
We said fighting on the fairways or something along
I like
those
that.
lines.
That's a good one. The fight on the fairways.
The fight on the fairway.
I like that one.
There's not really a golf course anymore, which is kind of makes it sad.
Yeah.
It's just a pasture.
Well, but now you don't have to worry about parking on the green,
We always played football on the greens growing up. I like that one, Bert.
Y'all haven't ever met anybody from Harrisburg, so y'all might need to think about that.
All right.
Okay. Bert, appreciate the call this morning, buddy. Let's change up the topic, get into some Arkansas.
As good as
news.
this is, we'll move on.
I got 10+ texts I got to, so we might have to come back to the very end of the program. So the Hogs and Aggies postponed tomorrow, unfortunately. Now, there is still time that the SEC left for SEC basketball games at the end. This can be a good thing. You get Kentucky on Tuesday. You heal up Desi Sills, Moses Moody, Jalen Williams, Justin Smith. You're still on the 4-game winning streak. I look at this as, I know it can be viewed as a negative, but guys, I look at this as a positive just to get healthy with this basketball team. I know Muss wants to play. I get that. but you can take this.
What else is he going to say?
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly the right answer. And yes, basketball is a game of routine and rhythm, and you play Tuesday or Wednesday, and you play Saturday, and you have your practice routines, your preparation, your film, your scout, all of that. So absolutely they want to play, and they hate the fact that they can't play, and it's at no fault of the Razorbacks and the COVID issue. But I love the idea, Clay, of Eric Musselman, his staff, having a few extra days to get ready for a Kentucky team that's not as good as they've been by recent standards, but it's still a big deal when you can go to Rupp Arena and maybe get a win, and you got a few more days to get ready for that now.
Yeah, I think it's a big game for Arkansas, but I also think that playing Saturday at home was a chance to add to a winning streak, and I think every time you win, the memory and you grow in confidence. So I think that they would have won Saturday against Texas A&M, and that would build more confidence. Yeah, but I also get it that they've got some nagging injuries. I mean, they act like Desi Sills could have come back in that game, but I think having a full week for him to heal is a big deal. They need Desi Sills on the road.
And let's remember, Desi Sills has taken a couple of hard spills as he's went to the rim, and he's gotten his body out of position and out of balance. Whatever. He's hit the floor hard twice in the last, 3 ball games?
Yeah.
Went in for a dunk, held on the rim, came down and face planted the floor, and then this one the other night, he got in, his body was out of position.
He's a warrior, man.
But I'm just saying his body's taken a couple of hard hits with the floor when he's went to the rim.
Keep an eye on that. Facts and figures came out from Whole Hog Sports. Clay, I know some of you and your colleagues were able to get those, and we'll let you do this in a bit because I don't know how much time we have left here. Barry Odom's making $1.75 million. Jamal Ashley, Cody Kennedy making $300K. Michael Shearer's making $175K. This is the most they've ever spent on one assistant, Barry Odom, and the most they've ever spent on the assistant pool, which is $5.375 million. And coming off COVID, that's something interesting to think about. Clay, I'll let you. I know you want to talk about Michael Shearer. We will do that coming up. I'll let you do that.
Yeah.
And last fact and figure story: SEC distributed 2019-2020, $657.7 million, $45.5 million per school.
And it's this is a time where every school needs every dime. Well, maybe with the exception of Alabama and A&M, but they need the money right now. Arkansas is in a position this is going to be welcome to try to shore up, and there is money they're counting on to shore up these revenue shortfalls. We know Arkansas is 20-something million short of what they were hoping to be at this point. All right, we'll head to the races, get a preview with Lane Whitman on Oaklawn coming up. We're brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. The best deals on hot tubs in the River Valley and in Northwest Arkansas is at Burton's. Hey, if you've got a particular model, size, capacity in mind, you might want to get to Burton's early, get that ordered because of the pandemic, because of everything. Things are a little behind in getting them manufactured, shipped, and delivered to you. So they can get them, and depending on the model, they can maybe get them for you fast. But to get exactly what you want, you should get to Burton's and look over the 28 different models to choose from. It's all at Burton Pools and Spas, Springdale and in Fort Smith, and anytime online at burtonpools.com. Your source for backyard fun.
Excited to talk with Lang, and then a bunch more conversation is headed your way on the Morning Rush.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from tuning.
Hey, this is Mike Golick Jr. from ESPN Radio, and you're listening to the Morning Rush.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
It's time to say goodbye to contacts, glasses, or bifocals with LASIK or clear lens exchange by Volvision in Northwest Arkansas. Mention ESPN for $500 off your LASIK or clear lens exchange procedure. A quick 15-minute procedure, easy 24-hour recovery no matter your age. Freedom from contacts and glasses is an option for you. Volvision, the official eye care providers of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Go Hogs!
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Are you concerned about possible COVID exposure for you or your employees? Fort Smith has a new option for PCR COVID testing that is fast and accurate. Natural State Laboratories out of Little Rock has opened a PCR COVID drive-thru location in Fort Smith at Community Bible Church. PCR testing is the most sensitive, accurate test available, and results are available the next day. No appointment is necessary. Convenient COVID PCR drive-thru testing in Fort Smith is open 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday at Community Bible Church, located at 9201 Dallas Street.
A chicken wing is just a flavor missile covered in awesomeness. And at Buffalo Wild Wings, we're locked and loaded with 26 sauces and seasonings aimed right at your face. So whether you're gearing up for the sweet tang of honey barbecue, Magma Hot Blazing Carolina Reaper, or new zesty lemon pepper sauce, get ready, because your mouth's in the blast zone. 26 sauces and seasonings at Buffalo Wild Wings.
The bloodline of any modern business is their computer network, data storage, and supporting hardware. So who takes care of one of the most important aspects of your business? Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren can handle all your networking services like cabling, firewall, routers, and VPNs to hardware and software protection from virus and malware. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
Family first. My dad used to tell us that all the time. But family first wasn't just something he'd say to us. It was how he lived every day of his life. And it's how I try to live mine too.
At Shelter Insurance, our agents are dedicated to helping provide personalized auto, home, and life protection that puts your family first.
Ask Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith about Shelter's home insurance.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen, or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Whether you're fishing for coldwater bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or fishing for a trophy brown trout on the mighty White River, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch them. It has that famous rolling action whether it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. This Rogue suspends, so it will stay in the strike zone longer, allowing you to catch more fish. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC has over 200 pre-owned vehicles to choose from luxury to economy and everything in between, including over 50 great vehicles with payments under $250 a month, certain to fit your needs and your budget. And at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, you always get more for your trade. 50 vehicles with payments under $250 a month at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, Exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Jalen going to try a three, left wing, deep three, and it's good!
Follow us on Twitter at Ty Sports Radio and at Tommy Kraft ESPN.
So I was telling people earlier that my dad and stepmom making their way to Gaston's White River Resort, do a little fishing like so many other people do down there, and they're fishing, Tom, and there's only one type of equipment they should be using.
Yeah, you want to look for that Pradco brand and that Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue, whether you're cold water fishing for bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or you're on the mighty White River like Ty's talking about. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will help you catch them in any conditions. The famous rolling action, whether it's fish slow or work fast in heavy current, will stay in the strike zone longer, making it possible for you to catch more fish. Where do you find it? How about Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LearNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place? It's the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue.
Let's go to the phone lines and welcome in our guy, Lane Whitman at the Railbird 333. So we're talking a little Oaklawn this morning. Lane, happy Friday, buddy.
Happy Friday to y'all as well. I had an interesting show this morning. A lot of good caller and feedback from text and whatnot.
Yeah.
Thanks,
hey,
buddy.
one thing that was very interesting last week, you gave your picks and you gave your long shot last week, and it wasn't very long in the day because I think you had the 12 horse and the 2 race, and it came in and won the race and paid a pretty good price. So congratulations on that great pick. That if you were listening to the Morning Rush last Friday
for free, by the
Lane
way,
gave you a great free pick right here on the Morning Rush.
Yeah, it was 12-1 on the morning line. It didn't really go off at 12-1.
It went off at 5-1. So
yeah, it went off about 5.5-1. Paid $13.80, which I'm not ever going to complain about a $13.80 winner. So I hope some people listening played along, and that was a nice way to start their day.
Hope you had $20 on it or something. All right, this weekend, another big weekend. It's the Super Bowl. Maybe we'll get your Super Bowl pick before we're done. But Saturday is the King Cotton Stakes. It's always one of these great stakes races early in the meet. It's this weekend.
Yeah, it's kind of a little lull this weekend over at Oaklawn. You have the King Cotton Stakes. I think they're kind of the building up for the big holiday weekend next week where they have 5 days of racing. They have stakes races on Saturday and Monday. We'll get into more of that next week, but the King Cotton is the stakes race for tomorrow for $150,000. Older horses going 6 furlongs. This race will lead up toward the end of the meet, the Count Fleet Sprint Handicap. This field is led by Flagstaff from the barn of California-based trainer John Sadler. Flagstaff has been in the money 13 of 15 times lifetime, winner of over $550,000, and has 5 wins. So he's going to be the favorite, but there are other challengers in this short 6-horse field. Leading trainer Steve Asmussen has 2 horses in here, Strike Power and Boulder, that will obviously have something to say about who wins. And also look out for Mr. Jägermeister to be there at the end for trainer Valerie Lund, as he's the top career earner in the field, earning nearly $600,000. So it's a short field, but a very competitive race. First post today and tomorrow is 1 p.m. There's a special 12:30 first post on Sunday, so they can get finished up and get most people home in time to see the start of the Kansas City-Tampa Bay Super Bowl.
All right, our update here brought to you by Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue, behind Randall Ford. We'll get to your long shot picks and some picks for today. You mentioned next weekend, President's Day coming up. You got Valentine's weekend. You mentioned the 5 days of racing and the Southwest Stakes and 2 other big stakes races on President's Day. So just peeking ahead, I mean, the Southwest is a huge prep race for the Derby.
Yeah, more Kentucky Derby points on the line next week. We'll see who comes in from what parts of the country for that race. I'm anxious to look forward to that, and I would definitely dive into that this time next week.
All right, let's give some folks some winners again. You're going to try to go 3 for 3 and giving out another winner on the show last week that played, as we said a moment ago, played $13.80 in your long shot of the day. What do you got today that one maybe we should circle? Hopefully we're not going to drive down the price too much here.
Well, I don't know if we're going to do that, but I struggle with what do I do. I'm 2 for 2. I want to go 3 for 3. Do I just take a horse that I really think is going to win at 2 or 3 to 1, or do I step out on the limb?
Oh, we want a long shot here. Yeah,
I'm going to step out on the limb. If I'm going to miss, it's just going to be taking a big swing. And we're going to go to the 7th race with horse number 8, named Tempt Fate, with Florent Giroux in the saddle. 8 to 1 on the morning line. Tempt Fate's career record at Oaklawn Park in 4 starts is 1 win, 1 place, and 2 shows. He's ran 3 other times at other tracks and hadn't hit the board. So he does like racing at Oaklawn. Many of the competitors in this race, there's a full field of 12 in this race, and many of them are coming off extended layoffs of over 150 days. They haven't ran in over 5 months, and maybe they'll need a race before they're ready to run a winning race. Tempt Fate and the horse I like in the exacta, horse number 4, Aspen Club, those two horses have only been off 60 days. They look like that they are, the two to look at in this race. We're going to go with number 8, Tempt Fate, in the 7th race at Oaklawn. It's my top pick. And if you want to bet an exacta, throw in number 4, Aspen Club. Aspen Club's 3-1. Should be the favorite on the morning line.
Handing them out here on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Calico County. Hey, as some things change, a lot of great things stay the same, and that's Calico County. Whether it's a great breakfast, great lunch, dinner, or catering for your next event, maybe even your Super Bowl party this weekend, check out our friends at Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford, and online at calicocounty.net. All right, we give you some picks here on Friday. Lang, you got your picks available for every day of the meet, even the ones, that throughout the week that we're not talking with you on Fridays about getting you ready for Friday and the weekend. You got picks every day. They can get them at the Railbird 333.
Yeah, just at the Railbird 333 on Facebook or on Twitter. You can get in touch with me that way. Send me a message or drop me a line, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. And we'll get it rolling. Hopefully, it'll be another big weekend. I've had a good 6 days. Yesterday was day 7 of racing. It was just so-so. So we'll look back to going strong starting today.
All right, real quick, 10 seconds. Who you like in the Super Bowl on Sunday?
I think the Chiefs win, but if Tampa Bay wins, look for Shaq Barrett or Jason Pierre-Paul to be MVP for the Bucks against those backup offensive tackles for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Calling a shot.
Good stuff there. All right, we'll talk to you next Friday.
Sounds good, guys.
Lang Whitman, he's the Railbird 333, Facebook and Twitter for his picks. Again, every Friday we talk some racing with Lang, and it's brought to you by Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford.
I don't remember if it was Lamonte or one of his teammates, but one of them was crying in the locker room following the NFC Championship. Tom Brady told him to stop crying, said, "We ain't done yet."
Listen to that last segment, I promise you, it sounded like I walked into a barbershop and listened to 2 old men just go at it. That was great.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce to today's price of $1,683. I want to talk to you about the coins you may have inherited and how important it is to deal with someone who understands coins and this market. In 2011, we had a mother and daughter come into our store and sell us a lot of jewelry they no longer wore for $3,300. The daughter then pulled out an 1850 California $10 gold piece. Jeremy offered her $900 and she accepted his offer. He then advised her to have this coin graded. She did, and she sold it for $36,000. If you don't know what you have, please come see Jeremy in our Bentonville store. Don't sell at an auction or an estate sale and get less money. What's in your safety deposit box could be worth thousands. NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC has over 200 pre-owned vehicles to choose from luxury to economy and everything in between, including over 50 great vehicles with payments under $250 a month, certain to fit your needs and your budget. And at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, you always get more for your trade. 50 vehicles with payments under $250 a month at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
What's new with the Golf Nut? Ping G425 woods, hybrids, and irons, along with the new Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls. Keep your game sharp on the TrackMan and Foresight indoor simulation base. Make sure you call ahead for an appointment. The Golf Nut has a great selection of shoes, apparel, and accessories in stock. Everything you need to complete your game. As always, don't forget to check Facebook for daily specials. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
Are you looking for a new place to call home? Whether you're looking for an apartment, duplex, townhome, or a house, Trinity Multifamily has you covered. They even have options in surrounding states, from Texas to Michigan and Kansas to Tennessee. If you're looking for a new place to call home, make Trinity Multifamily your first call at 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
When you want a beer, you go to a bar. When you want top shelf spirits, wines, handcrafted cocktails, and cigars in an atmosphere befitting a destination, you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items, including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites. Dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
Fitness.
will always be about keeping a routine. And the best routines in life will always make time for enjoying yourself. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
New Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
A hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor.
Yep.
Can I try one?
Yep.
That tastes great.
Told you.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Good morning, privates! Good morning, Drill Sergeant! I mean, seriously, what a pleasant morning. The sun is shining and the birds are chirping. You seem to be in a good mood today. Astute observation.
He's probably happy because he found out Honey Nut Cheerios can help lower cholesterol as part of a heart-healthy diet.
They're even shaped like hearts. So, in lieu of the obstacle course today, I propose a nice meditative nature walk. Does that sound delightful to everyone?
Yes, Drill Sergeant! Happy Heart Shapes are back for a limited time. Learn more about Honey Nut Cheerios by picking up a box at your local store.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch, dinner, and brunch. Open 7 days a week, both on the heated patio and the cozy dining room. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 to 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Note into the front court for Arkansas. Dribbles left of the circle, gets a screen from Vanover, goes to the basket, lays it in, and one.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
We're going to wrap up this show coming up here on the Morning Rush. First, want to welcome in Larry Rath, who's in Ratharitaville right now this morning. Larry, what's going on Friday, brother?
Hey, happy Friday, everybody. We're getting ready for a big weekend over here at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. And listen, folks, this is the time. Don't wait. Get in here now. Get yourself a nicer, newer car, and make sure you're getting a Rath road-ready car. Only available Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. These cars have been handpicked, run through our Meineke Car Care Center for complete inspection. They go through our detail department. When they come out and pass their final inspection, they get that badge, the Rath Road Ready badge, and you want to make sure you get that when you get a used car, folks. We just won the Consumer Award for Dealer Rater Dealer of the Year at both stores based on customer satisfaction. We're really proud of that. We want to thank all of our customers. And, folks, if you're not a customer now, come on in and let us fix you up in a brand-new car, a brand-new Mitsubishi from Rath Mitsubishi, or a Rath Road-Ready used car available at both locations. If you're keeping the car you have, the Meineke Car Care Center can take care of that car for you with half-off brakes, buy 3, get 1 free on all tires right now, and a basic oil change that starts at just $24.95. So whether you're keeping your car or, better yet, trading it in, get yourself something nicer, newer now, and don't wait. Come on in and see us this weekend at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale, or check us out online at rathauto.com.
All right, Rath Auto Resources, Fort Smith and in Springdale. Larry, enjoy the Super Bowl, and we'll talk next week.
Hey, thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one, and folks, come and see us.
We are going to ask you this morning your favorite Super Bowl food coming up, and that is the conversation that I know many of you have a strong opinion on. But first, I want to welcome in Sterling in Cedar Ridge, who wants to talk about the Super Bowl and the Hogs in Arkansas State. Sterling, it's been a minute, buddy. Good to have you in on Friday.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to start calling in more often, guys. First on the Super Bowl, I'm just interested in seeing, is it going to be what's the scheme Andy Reid going to come with to protect his decimated offensive line? Or is it just going to be Patrick Mahomes improvising? Is it going to be design rollouts? Or is it just going to be he's going to just go with his normal game plan and if the pressure gets to him, let Mahomes be Mahomes? But I'm very interested in that because I know you can't take much from interviews because they give a lot of coach speak, but Andy seemed very relaxed. He don't seem like a guy that's really all concerned about losing your 2 starting tackles. With, I would think that would be kind of hard to hide. The concern about it, at least mention it over and over again to build an excuse. I know Andy's above all that, but still, it'd be, worth mentioning that he got to, you would think he would say, I got to come up with something, or the team got to do this, or we got to do that. It's not even being mentioned. And I guess that's also part of being in the NFL, is always next man up. As for the Arkansas and Arkansas State game, I hope this ends all these false narratives about that game. Now, back in the day, way back in the day, I could see why it was done. But for a long time, for far back in the last 30 or 40 years, when Arkansas became truly Arkansas's team by 90% of the fan base, first off, it don't hurt Arkansas. It don't help Arkansas to play the game either way. And A-State don't need the money. They can play somebody else to get money. It wasn't Arkansas' responsibility to keep the money in state. These teams were making it. They don't need Arkansas money to survive, and it's wasn't Arkansas' responsibility. So I'm glad we can put all that stuff to rest and don't even have to talk about stuff anymore. That used to infuriate me. That first off, that like A-State wasn't playing Texas A&M and other big schools to make money, or UAPB, like they couldn't play.
Well, they moved they had Texas A&M scheduled in 2025, and they moved that game in order to play Arkansas. So give credit to Terry Mahajer and his staff for doing that in Jonesboro. So Starling, appreciate the call. I don't know if I necessarily agree with it doesn't help either party, because I think there's one party in this game that prohibitively gets the better deal. It's Arkansas State. Is there any disagreement that they get the better deal out of this?
It will be an Arkansas home game. They get a 10,000 seat allotment. The money's going to go to Arkansas, but here,
not the money, not the fans.
Let me finish. What you may have is, I don't think there's going to be very many times we're going to be able to point to a player in our state that had a choice of going to Arkansas as a scholarship player and chose Arkansas State. That's not going to be the big deal. The question is, does this game elevate Arkansas State to the point where a kid that was going to go to Memphis or Southern Miss or a group of 5 school, another Sun Belt school, now chooses from our state to stay in state, to have the chance to play in that game if they play it long term? Does that become the real dividend for A-State? Is now they get some kids in our state that aren't quite SEC players, but they're group of 5 players, and they go to A-State versus one of these other schools as a result of this game. Now, again, they're just playing it once. We'll see if it becomes a series. The conventional belief is it will. But who's going to impact and affect that game in 2025? It's kids in high school right now. It's not the kids on these teams. There may be a few freshmen that hang around and have that extra year that are part of it as seniors. But Clay, this game
Tommy, they're in junior high. They're not in high school.
Well, I mean, if you're going to play the game in 2025, you're probably a sophomore, maybe a junior. You're going to be the impact players in that game, in the year 2025. But that's the point. That's who's going to determine wins and losses in that one particular game. It's not even, just think about who they're going to be recruiting to play that game.
Yeah, that might be the case, but I don't see that as a huge advantage. I don't think that's why they're playing the game.
No, that's not. We're talking about winners and losers on this. A-State may get some kids to stay in state and not go to Memphis or Southern Miss or another group of 5 school.
Not many. It might be 1 or 2. That might be the extent of it. Now, I don't think that's the benefit. It might be, but it's I will say this: there's a lot of times where their recruiting roster is not many Arkansas kids. Yeah. I've looked at it. But it's. I think
the big winner in this, Clay, is War Memorial Stadium. It's not Arkansas; it's an Arkansas State. The winner in this deal is the stadium has some financial stability or a path to at least get out through 2025. That's the winner in this.
There's going to be more. It looks like there's going to be more games played in the stadium than some people thought.
Yes.
There was a belief as recently as a couple of years ago that it would be soon, and I think we talked about it on this show, in the last couple of years. Every time Arkansas plays a game in Little Rock, there is some thought, is this the last one? Well, we know now the last one's not in sight. Yeah. It's, we're at least through 2025 with games in the stadium.
Mm-hmm. And they being War Memorial Stadium, the commission, the Parks Department, all that now. The governor has put this wheel into motion because the rental fee to use the venue when Arkansas plays there is, exponentially more than the other events they typically have there. Plus they get parking and, all the ticket sales go to the university and that, split the way it is. But the winner in this deal is War Memorial Stadium and the Parks and Tourism Department.
Yeah, there's you and I have a mutual friend that when the governor used his discretionary account to put money in to add to the renovations, when he did that, this person told me, he says Arkansas will continue to play games there because now he has spent his money and he wants the stadium used. Well, It turned out he was right. He saw it a lot clearer than I did.
Yeah, and the governor's not up for re-election, but this is part of the legacy. This is part of his resume that's going to be judged historically on what kind of governor he is. He's not going to let that relationship in on his watch.
Yeah, I mean, you say he's not up for re-election. He's going to run for something.
Oh, yeah, but not for governor.
He's not going to disappear from the political scene.
I agree.
Yeah, so it's, there's a lot of people that want this to happen, and he knows that. So, but it still came down to he put money into the stadium and does not want the Razorbacks to disappear from Little Rock.
We're going to have a great podcast this morning with all the conversation and topics that we've had. Make sure you subscribe, hitthatline.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, which you can always find our stuff. And when you're subscribing, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, you can get not just the Morning Rush, the Bud Light Seltzer Morning Rush podcast, but all of our podcasts on the Hit That Line podcast network. Clay, I'm going to table the share conversation. I've already written into our Tuesday rundown to give you a little more time to talk about it because we're running up on the last
Michael
segment.
Michael
Scherer.
Not Sonny and Scherer.
The Michael Scherer hires linebackers coach to me is the most fascinating, and I can remember talking to John Cooper, who's a friend of mine when he had retired at Ohio State, and he came in and talked to the Touchdown Club, and he says every once in a while there's a bright young coach that is going to be a head coach at some point. He's going to be a coordinator, and he's going to be a head coach. And you recognize it. It hits you in the face, and you know it. And he mentioned Luke Fickell, who's the head coach at Cincinnati, and who was defensive coordinator at Ohio State, and is a brilliant coach. And has had chances to go other places, but wants to stay in the Ohio area. I think Luke Fickell is outstanding. And this is who Michael Scherer is. And for him to be an assistant this young speaks volumes. And Sam Pittman recognizes it. Barry Odom has known it forever since he was a player that he would be a fantastic coach. And when you sit in the interview yesterday and watch Michael Scherer, he came in, I guess he'd been in a workout, and he was just sweating profusely. And, sweat was getting in his eyes. And he said, "Excuse me, guys." And he had the confidence to get up from that interview and go get a towel, wipe himself down, then come back, compose himself, and finish the interview. And he was good on the front end and the back. But I've never seen a coach that did something like that. And it was just, and you think, well, why did he do it? Well, because he knew that he was not presenting himself in the right way, and he wanted to fix it. And he had enough confidence to do it. And some people would recognize that as, well, maybe that's odd. Now, I thought this is a guy that has a lot of confidence, and he's in a setting that he's never been, but he handled it wonderfully. And I think he's going to be a coach that we look back 10, 12 years from now, and he's a coordinator somewhere, and then soon after that he's a head coach.
Guess we'll see what his timeline ends up as. All right, real quick before we get out of here on a Friday edition of the Morning Rush, really excited about the Super Bowl. ESPN 95.3, 104.3. We have the Super Bowl this year. Pre-game coverage begins on 4 o'clock on Sunday. What is the food that you guys have to eat this Sunday, accompanied by the Super Bowl.
I don't think you can have a real Super Bowl smorgasbord unless you have cheese dip on it.
Okay.
Right?
Cheese
so you
dip.
got to have something with some kind of cheese,
with meat in it,
rotel,
of
and
course.
I prefer chorizo in it.
Okay. Clay?
That's mine.
Yeah, I mean, I think, if I could pick out something, and I say if I could bring somebody in to fix my Super Bowl spread, it'd be Eddie Jackson, and I'd want his sticky wings.
Okay.
And I think that I've had them before, and they're fantastic. But I will also say, and he told me this one time, he said, "Man, one of the great foods is chili dogs."
Yeah, chili dogs is up there for me too. Also sausage balls. Good Friday show for Tommy Kraft, Clay Henry, and Matt Jenkins. I'm Ty Richardson. Everyone enjoy the Super Bowl. We'll talk Monday.